Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey, did you want to do it today?
I'm just. Yeah.
You're used to it.
I'm used to it. You
bring it with the same thunder.
You do.
I tried.
Yeah. Marshy, this requires a whole start over here. And it requires me to have my headphones in.
The Fast Lane is doing well.
Yeah, we are. What could go wrong?
We've been on IL.
What?
Who is that man?
Look at you, Carey. Yeah. All clean shaven and whatnot.
Yeah.
Look good, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, Marshy.
But Jamie's right. We got to redo this.
All right, you guys ready?
Did you really forget?
No.
Anthony.
Yeah, no. Marsh, go ahead. Yeah.
There we go. Hi, Carey. Anthony's got this one.
He's got it.
No, you did great, though. I was proud of you.
Let's get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. We are back. It's all of us today. Ish. Yeah, so Carey's got less of a voice than Jamie, and that's not saying much because Jamie doesn't have much of a voice either.
It just won't come back. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Fastlane's in rough shape.
We were talking about it in the office. We all have had different ailments.
Yeah.
You had COVID.
Yeah, again.
Marsh and I both have had the flu. Twice.
Marsh twice.
Me twice.
Twice.
Jamie has had strep.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is even possible.
Right.
I mean, we're in the studio for 4 hours. I'm sure it's like a mini, what are those
Petri
little Petri dishes?
Yeah. Petri dish. But Carey's right, though. Why wouldn't
we all have the same thing?
I was the host monkey.
Yes.
I was the outbreak host monkey. So you guys at least should have gotten COVID. No, you avoided that. You guys just you've contracted your own diseases at various points.
Our own.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. So Jamie's got this mug. Where'd you get that? Because I know it's not yours.
It's mine.
Is it?
The kids bought me this one year.
Old
Christmas
Jack Skellington.
Is the Nightmare Before Christmas.
No kidding. Because didn't you used to borrow or /steal?
There was somebody's that I did take for an awful long time, and then I kept hiding it. It was Ronja's. And I kept hiding it in different places on purpose, so Ron should be like, "Who the hell took my cup?"
Yeah,
that was hilarious. And every day go on the air and complain about it.
Because you and I were doing Stalter and Rivers for the 2 days or so, and then
he wouldn't be here yet, and I'd leave it.
That's
Sometimes
right.
I go put it back on his desk, half with like a half coffee.
Oh, that would upset
Which, if
me.
anybody knows Ron,
that would upset me.
Yeah, but that was the whole point.
Yeah, that certainly infuriated him.
By the way, before we get into everything, Anthony, obviously you were on vacation.
Yeah.
The big question so far today from the text line is, did you bust your
I hit
face?
my head? No, I didn't this time, guys. I was very careful.
job.
Yeah, I was very careful.
We need him today.
Yeah, could you imagine? I came back, busted face, concussion. That wouldn't be good.
No.
But no, I was very careful in the pool this time. I appreciate the text line asking. Great time. Shout out to my folks in Florida. We had a good time with the kids. And when we played in the pool, I definitely did not fire off. I didn't do any firing off the wall underwater.
I feel like
not once.
Lincoln got deprived then, because the other two kids watched you smash your face and bleed.
Big time.
Lincoln, I don't know if he was
there,
he was
but
a baby.
he was a baby. Yeah, he had no
deserved to see Daddy Stalter hammer that Italian stallion nose into the side of the pool.
Yeah, after hammering Maker's Mark.
Oh, yeah, that's
all day. Yeah.
I didn't know you were going
He
there.
saw that. He just didn't see.
Jesus, your parents are there.
Whoa. Come on now, Jamie.
Hey, it's good babysitting.
Holy smokes. What? Of course it is.
It's vacation. You gotta get your groove on. Remember Stella?
Loosen up. She certainly did, didn't she? She found love in all the right places, Jamie.
Yeah.
7 o'clock tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights and your St. Louis Blues will drop the puck at Enterprise Center. We've got the pregame coverage for you right here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. Jamie.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about what's at stake. So what's at stake? Win or go home?
Kind of.
Basically.
Still lots of games left, but this is the one head-to-head you have to win. If the Blues can beat the Knights, brings them within 2 points of the Golden Knights, and then, from there, the strength of schedule for the Blues is friendlier than what the Knights have to deal with. And that's a big deal because you get beat tonight. If you're the Knights, you got the Blues right behind you, nipping at your heels, 2 points back. Pressure's on, man. Mm-hmm. You're the big bad wolf. Like, everybody hates the Vegas Golden Knights right now because they manipulated the LTIR last year. They're manipulating it again this year. They have some injuries, legit, but whatever case, people don't care.
Yeah.
They're the evil empire, and people want them to go down. Everybody who played this last trip are like, hey, you guys catch Vegas, man. We hate those guys. Catch Vegas. We're cheering for you guys. Like, people at Ottawa are like, hey, look, we want our team to win, but we'd rather have you guys win tonight so you can catch Vegas. Not the players.
Right.
Not the players. But like some of the media people and things like that.
You know, guys, when I look at this matchup specifically, Vegas has been outstanding at home this year, but they have been suspect on the road. I mean, for them. I think they're one game above 500 on the road if you kind of break down the OTL losses and things like that. Vegas has been somewhat what the Blues have been. They're a more talented roster, top to bottom. Obviously, they're coming off the Stanley Cup win.
Well, they're cheating, Anthony.
They're cheating. As Dirty Sons.
I don't know if it's cheating if they're allowed to do it.
Carey is cheating.
It's just not in the rules.
I mean, it's a form of cheating.
If the Blues are doing it, it'd be
okay.
Smart.
Yeah.
Just because your girlfriend says it's okay, it's still cheating, okay?
Yeah, good call on that.
Remember that, Carey. It's good
She
advice.
says okay, and I don't know if it's cheating.
Well, you know.
Depending on your relationship, right?
Yeah, I mean, depending on, what the rules are. But
Okay.
yeah.
I don't think we're
By
talking
the way,
about hockey.
she says it's okay. Congratulations.
There you go.
Yeah. So the Blues, when I'm looking at this matchup, the Blues do have one thing that the Vegas Golden Knights don't, and that's Jordan Binnington. I think that's the deciding factor. This is when Jordan Binnington is often at his best. This is when we're talking about him stepping up and having one of those Jordan Binnington-esque performances. I'm not putting it all on Jordan Binnington. It's a team game. But these are the moments where he has typically shined, when they have needed him the most.
Well, he's been playing outstanding. He's doing a great job, and this team has needed it. They have needed him to play at that level. He's been the catalyst for them. He's been the guy that every single night you can count on, even when certain lines weren't playing well or certain players weren't playing well. Him and Joe Hofer have really held this team together and made sure that they have done a great job. And, winners 6 of their last 7. And we talked about it I think Friday.
Yeah.
Do they need to win out? They're pretty much
just keep
at
going,
that point,
baby.
just keep going.
Yep.
Game by game, do what you need to do. And, they have a great opportunity in front of them, because if you have the team that is in front of you and you're playing them, that's 2 points for you, none for them, hopefully, and you can keep pushing yourself forward in that standing.
Yeah, and Vegas has some injury problems right now. Well, their captain, Mark Stone, is out maybe for the rest of the year. Alex Pietrangelo is out right now with an illness. Like, all their top guys, like, this is a roster that is susceptible to being beaten. And the Blues, let's not forget, the Blues are really good at home this year.
Yeah.
Really good.
21 wins at home this season.
And for me, it's come down to 3 players this year for the Blues. Jordan Binnington, Colton Parayko, and Robert Thomas. How those 3 guys go, the team goes. Bottom line.
So, guys, 11 forward, 7 defensemen.
We don't know that for sure yet, Anthony. We don't know that for sure. They practiced this morning with 4 lines.
First of all, I don't like your attitude.
Well, I don't really care.
You got to back down.
Right?
All right?
I don't really care.
Let's back down.
No, listen.
If they come out,
this is yelling for me.
I'm just going to keep talking
loud as it's
until
gonna
your
get.
voice
You're
runs
just going
out.
to try and dominate.
I'm going to dominate you.
Marshy. I'm going to dominate Marshy. Shut his mic off.
He won't.
There he goes. Ultimate domination. Coming up. Come on, man.
He won't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, now that I know which one it is, Carey, you go over and do it. Carey will do it.
Carey's got less of a voice than you do.
That's
He
why
can't
he'll
do it
shut you
either.
off.
Go ahead.
I don't
Okay, so
even
we
know
don't
what
know.
I'm
We don't
saying
know that. We don't know that. If they go with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, what do you think the strategy is, if there is one?
I don't know. I don't particularly like that move just because you've been playing so well with the regular roster. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, the flip side of that is in your last game that you played, you went basically with 11 forwards because Zack didn't play in the last period, a period and a half, to be honest. And you were able to double shift Jordan Kyrou, who was going. Now, it happened to be Jordan Kyrou last game. What if it's Robert Thomas? What if it's Pavel Buchnevich? What if it's Jake Neighbors? Like, Chief used to do this from time to time where he'd leave that open roster spot to just plunk in whoever is going. And it does create a certain roster advantage because now you get your best players out there on the 4th line, which, by the way, your 4th line's not really a 4th line. In fairness, neither is Vegas's. They're a really good 4th line as well. but you're still able to get the matchup that you want. So if it's Jordan Kyrou, the other night he gets out there repetitively, and he makes a big difference. Obviously, scores 3 goals, and that paid off. So I can see the thought process there. The rest of the thought process is probably if you're up by a goal late in the game, Marco Scandella, you're in. Scott Perunovic, you're going to take a back seat. This is now our top 6 defensemen that can shut down the opposition. Gives us a chance to hold on to the victory.
Yeah.
There are some pros to it. The cons to it are rhythm. How do you get everybody in a rhythm? Like forwards is fine. You can just plunk that guy in wherever, and everybody's going, man. It's like thoroughbreds going.
Yeah.
But 7 defensemen, what do you do? Somebody gets screwed.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Perunovic and Scandella that get screwed. Nobody else is coming up. Now, the only way you could really do it is flip-flop them every single other shift.
Yeah.
I remember doing that my first year, me and Chris McAlpine. We were both in the lineup. We went 7 defensemen, and every other time, just it was what it was. No matter how good your last shift was, you sit in the next one, and you're back in. So it's like you're splitting that spot with another guy, but it keeps both guys going the whole time. So I don't know. It's a lot more work and a lot more moving parts when you got 11-7. Who knows? But it hasn't been confirmed yet. So, maybe all this discussion is for nothing to you.
Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marshall, Anthony Stalter, Fastline on 101 ESPN 215. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. With Sonny Gray to start the year on the injured list, what does the starting rotation look like? And can Zack Thompson actually be the Cardinals' number 2 starter? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Well, with over 2 decades of family ownership and operation, E&B Granite is St. Louis's trusted name in renovations for your kitchens, your bathrooms, and your outdoor spaces. That's right. We all love those outdoor spaces so much now. I know that myself. I put together a whole area for outdoor living, and I absolutely love it. E&B Granite helped me along the way with that. They also helped me with my kitchen remodel. Countertops and cabinets, and it was awesome. All I did is drive by and saw the representative at 6135 Manchester Avenue and had them help me out, give me some ideas, and then we went in the back, and they've got all of their countertops in the back. You can walk around and pick your own. It's right there, and it's big, and it's not just a sample size. And the technicians are awesome. They get into your home, they measure everything perfectly, they remove things without making a mess or breaking other stuff, and then once the installation is done, you're absolutely blown away by how awesome it really is. So call ahead, book an appointment, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you. That number's 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300, or you can visit enbgranite.com.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. The Cardinals placed Sonny Gray on the injured reserve last week, so he will
We'll
not
see
start
him at the
season.
All-Star break.
Oh, no, it won't be that long.
You guys know my rule on this, right, with Cardinals injuries?
Anthony, we have lived this together, buddy.
We have.
Oh, he's day to day. Day to 6 months, you mean?
Yeah. When they're worried about it, assuming that if they're worried about an injury, just assume that that player may never play again.
You're right.
They usually come out, that's fine. He'll be back by opening day. Okay, you can scratch off opening day. Add a month to it.
They never come back, Carey.
If the Cardinals are like, we're concerned about this injury, just go ahead and consider it season ending, if not career ending. That's kind of how the Cardinals operate.
Sonny Gray was a good man.
So hopefully he will be back somewhat soon. But here's the Cardinals starting rotation according to Katie Wu at The Athletic. Miles Michaelis, Zack Thompson, Lance Lynn, Steven Matz, Kyle Gibson. I'm assuming that's the order they're going with because that's how Katie has listed it. Lynn, as she notes, starts the home opener on April 4th against the Marlins.
Anybody else surprised where Zack Thompson is slotted in here?
A little bit, but I guess that they're trying to match it up so that Lynn starts April 4th, but you could have started Gibson.
You could have started Steven Matz.
Or
If you're looking to
Matz.
go righty-lefty, you could have went like...
Yep.
How important is that, righty-lefty? I mean, you put your best players out there. You got to pitch against the opposing team, regardless of if you're righty or lefty. I just want the team to. I want people that are going to compete day to day. People that are going to show up and do their job to the best of their ability. And if Zack Thompson has earned that right, then go ahead.
Yeah.
But everyone else has work to do. Everyone has to show up every single game and do their job. And if they don't, this team is going to struggle. And we've talked about that.
Yeah. But going back to Carey, to your question about whether or not it's important, it's nice to give a team in a 3-game series a different look when it comes to a starter. But now starters are only going 5 or 6 innings, and then you're playing the matchup game with your bullpen. So I don't know if it's the end all be all. If that's how they're doing it with the righty lefty, okay. I think the bigger question now is, will Zack Thompson stay in this? Can he earn a spot in this starting rotation?
Well, they obviously want him to.
I mean, if he pitches well, this should, again, don't forget, this is a bridge year for you. That's why you signed Kyle Gibson to a 1-year deal. That's why you signed Lance Lynn to a 1-year deal. Steven Matz has only got 2 years left, and the money that they're giving him, yes, it's overpriced based on what they have not received from him from a production standpoint. But the money that they're giving him for a starter in Major League Baseball isn't astronomical. In other words, they can shift him to the pen if need be, or just eat the money flat out. If, again, Zack Thompson winds up pitching well. I hope the kid is outstanding.
I like him.
I do too. You have to start to earmark certain players for your future when it comes to the starting rotation. Because next year you're going to be in a similar spot as you were in this past offseason, needing multiple guys.
Well, you're right in the same spot, quite honestly.
Exactly.
Hoping and praying that some of your other guys have developed.
Young, cost-control pitchers that are obviously productive. And when we talk about cost control all we want, you could throw anybody that's cost control in a starting rotation, whether or not they're going to be good. Libertor, exactly. I mean, unfortunately.
Just an example.
Yeah. You're a little snarky on that, but I liked it.
That's my voice.
it's confusing.
Raspy.
Yeah.
Confused.
Raspy.
Other than that, when you
Sexy, some say.
when you look at this
Clint
starting rotation, I mean, that's rough, top to bottom. For a contender, forget about the non-contenders in baseball.
Well,
That's
is it
rough.
rough or is it rough for a contender?
It's rough for a contender.
Is it?
So you think it's okay just for like a normal team, though?
A normal team that is just looking to kind of, we'll see if we're a wild card team. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
But for
I'm
a
just trying to
contender,
figure out what you're trying to get at.
a team that wants to actually win a division, any division, including the garbage one like this, that's a little rough.
You came back with some Florida hate to you.
No, I didn't. I left
But
with Florida hate.
He's just talking louder than us because we can't talk at all.
Yeah.
No, but he's got a little
some
edge to his game
edge.
today.
I felt like I had the same opinion before I left.
He had some time off, Jamie.
He did. He had some time to reflect.
Yeah.
And still have hatred.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, at least now I know it's true.
You call it hatred. I call it using my eyes.
You're fired up.
I call it whatever the hell I want. You can tell whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care that you're mad at it.
That rotation's not great.
I'm fine with you not liking it. You act like I'm opposed to what you're saying. I'm not. I'm just identifying the way you're saying it.
Jamie, you be you.
So
I am.
So
Be me.
Thank God. Carey, your thoughts?
When Sonny Gray does come back, and Zack Thompson is performing well, the odd man out we assume is
Zack Thompson.
No, Zack Thompson is still performing well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that first part because
Yeah.
I was still sparring with Jamie.
Who then is the
turned
odd man
around,
out?
by the way?
Is it Kyle Gibson? It's not Miles Michaels.
He's pitching for his life. I think
Whoever's pitching
Gibby
poorly.
and Matz, I think, are pitching for their lives every time they hit the bump. I think they are. Because I think they'll be
What
a
about
little...
Lynn?
For some crazy reason, I don't feel like he is.
Just because it's the old Cardinal way.
Just because it's Lance Lynn.
If Zack Thompson pitches well, it doesn't matter. This team will send him back to the bullpen.
That was my thought. That's why I responded the way I did. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
This is the Victor Scott thing. This is the most Cardinal thing. That would be the most Cardinal thing ever.
All right.
Victor
This kid
Scott, he
pitching
doesn't pitch.
He performed
realize
his
he
butt
doesn't
off in
pitch.
center field.
That's a whole other
But
discussion.
there was no chance in hell that the Cardinals were going to try to catch lightning in a bottle when they had safer options.
Well, but the
Why
Cardinals
do you
that I
need
know...
a guy that can steal bases?
Exactly.
Why do you need a guy that can lay down bunts? Why do you need a guy that can go from first to third? You don't. That's what the Cardinals said. They don't need it.
You're right.
AAA needs it.
AAA need Memphis
Guys,
needs that.
I was shocked that Victor Scott lasted as long as he did. Not because he's not good, because of the Cardinal way. Like, I thought they'd try to drop you-know-what immediately and be like, yeah, 1 week into it, send him down. Don't give the fans hope.
Yeah.
Cost control. Don't start the clock. All they have T-shirts made that they wear behind closed doors.
Right.
Yeah.
We got a text from the 314, snarky about the Cardinals. That's this entire radio station, I feel like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it coming in that early?
Who said that? From where?
The 314.
What's he talking about?
Well, I think some people they get upset.
Why?
Because there's a lot of snark on this station about the Cardinals.
Yeah,
year.
but we
Isn't that
demand.
deserved?
But there's snark about the Blues too. There's snark about anything that isn't going the way we think it should go.
Can I help with this?
Well, you can try.
Yeah, do you think?
Usually it doesn't work, but you can
Those
try.
glasses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know where they're at.
I don't even know. Here.
Really? I went.
I don't know where they are. Oh, they're right in front of you.
You can wear my Target
there.
glasses.
Whoa. Well, hold on. Those aren't it.
They're in front of you.
Those are the Mo glasses.
It's
Well,
this is the
listen.
one. This is the ones when you look at Anthony. It's just missing the mustache, Carey.
I too think that this radio station has way too much snark when it comes to the Cardinals and the starting rotation and just the overall viewpoints on this team. I think when you look at this roster, boys, it is absolutely a contender. I mean, when you're talking about Lance Lynn, talking about a bulldog, competitor, someone that's going to win 17 to 20 games for you. Steven Matz hasn't showed his pure capabilities yet in a Cardinals uniform, but we know it's there. This Cardinals team we're getting ready for opening day. It's about to embark on something great. It really is.
Good Lord.
We appreciate it.
I'm feeling it.
Thanks, Mo.
I didn't believe you. I think the other glasses, I would think I'd believe.
Well, I couldn't see.
We were improvising, okay, Marshy? By the way, I'm getting on Amazon right now.
What are you getting?
I'm going to buy us rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, thank you.
So that when people see us put them on, they're not like, why is he wearing
Yeah,
Christmas glasses?
exactly? We need the Cardinals.
Carey puts them on and people are like, what the hell is he doing?
Right, yeah.
So don't mind me, guys. I'm going to go on Amazon here real quick.
All right.
I'm fired up for this Cardinal season.
Really?
Great.
Is chalk good for the NCAA Tournament? We'll talk about that next on 101 ESPN.
All right, it's that time of year. Are you looking to sell your home? Probably. Spring is here. The weather's getting nice. You're seeing other houses go up for sale. You're hearing about great success stories. Well, you need to be one of those success stories. And the way you do that is you call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has several options for sellers, to get rid of their home fast, quickly. Get to the closing table. my preferred option that Gloria offers is guaranteed sales. And all that is that Gloria guarantees you to sell your home after she sits down with you and agrees upon the sales price, sells your home for that price, or she buys it herself, and she executes all of that in handwriting. And she's very confident because she has a database with over thousands of ready, willing, and able buyers for your home. That drives up the price, maybe multiple offers, and more money for you at the end of the day, which is exactly what every seller wants. So again, pick up the phone, call Gloria Liu, tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in there. That number's 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions to apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price and possession date.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues look to continue their winning ways as they take on the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. A huge game for the Blues. Pre-game starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll continue talking about your St. Louis Blues coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. But the Sweet 16 is set, and we're going to dive into some March Madness. Is chalk good for the NCAA Tournament? We'll discuss coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. Once again, Blues Golden Knights tonight right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoPlex.com. Are you kidding me?
Young in there for Duke. Deep one, heat check. Oh, yeah! Another! Jared McCain is not human.
Some of the sounds from the weekend in the NCAA, and of course, Duke throttled everybody's favorite 12 seed, James Madison. Mm-hmm. How's everybody's brackets looking? Horrible?
Mine is okay. I think I obviously got Illinois in it, winning it all. I got Arizona going to the Final Four.
So you're okay.
I'm still doing okay.
Yeah, I had Auburn winning the whole thing,
Yeah.
so I just haven't looked.
Yep, I had Auburn going to the Final Four. I knew better because it's an SEC teams, and SEC teams can't play basketball.
They play football there.
Yeah, I know Tennessee's still in it, and there's probably somebody else from the SEC that's still in it. I get it. Alabama held on last night, so they won't last much longer.
No.
Tennessee took on Texas, who had not a good tournament.
No, they're not.
I mean, the
great
game
overall.
they won, the total was like 100 points. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
That's Texas basketball right now, Marsh. Yeah.
Tennessee will probably lose to Creighton. Just my pick there.
I could see that. So here's the big question, though. Is chalk good for the NCAA tournament? Some people are suggesting that without the Cinderella teams, we're starting to lose some luster in the NCAA tournament. I agree to a point. People want to see the Cinderella, but Cinderella's fine. Mm-hmm. You need one. Mm-hmm. You need one St. Peter's. You need one Loyola. You need one Davidson. Mm-hmm. You need one team to crash the party. The rest better be blue bloods. Just look last year. UConn was incredibly fun to watch. Mm-hmm. They were, a 3 seed, 4 seed last year, and they wound up winning it all. They played San Diego State. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted to watch that matchup.
No.
Nobody wanted to see UConn and San Diego State last year. You are likely to get a pair of blue bloods. And by the way, that's the matchup in the Sweet 16, UConn and San Diego State. So we won't see that same one this time around. But you're likely, Carey, to get 2 blue bloods in the championship game. I do think you lose some luster not having a true Cinderella, but at least you do get 11 seed NC State in there. And they've been kind of fun. So if they can knock off Marquette, who ever since they were losing at halftime in the first round has been a buzzsaw. But if NC State can beat Marquette, now at least you get one Cinderella, quote unquote, because they're still an ACC team. So I don't know how far you want to go with that. And then a couple of blue bloods.
Well, I think.
Whoa! Look at Jamie Rivers.
Forgot to tell you guys, we got a delivery here.
What do we got?
Well, a couple things. My friends over at Dirt Cheap.
Look at Carey.
They said these guys sound like they got dirty over the weekend.
Yeah.
So we got some T-shirts for everybody.
Baby.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, these are
the Dirt Cheap, let's get dirty chicken.
But, I partied with the chicken.
Nice.
Carey, I could see you.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So they just dropped those off. Yeah. And one thing, too, I forgot to tell you guys is... Dirt Cheap has the app that is going on right now. You get on there, order your bourbon. I did it over the weekend.
Nice.
It was awesome.
What do you mean? So what, they deliver?
Yeah, so you get on the app, Dirt Cheap app, you download it.
This is
and
awesome.
Everything that they have in store is available online. And you just get on there and click whatever it is that you want, and they deliver it to you. The location, you have to have a location that's within the jurisdiction, but they've got so many locations around town. So for me, I think it's like the Kisker or Harvester location. Just get on there and they deliver it over to the house.
Wow, that's incredible.
Awesome.
That's pretty good.
It was awesome. And we got the Elijah Craig small batch.
Ooh, nice.
This one here, Carey, I'm going to gift that to you.
Thank you.
Wow.
And then we got...
You guys are at your birthdays, Marsh.
Yes.
Picked you up. This is all birthday. We call this the birthday barrel, although it's in a box. We call it the birthday box.
It's a birthday box, yeah. What's in the box?
And, what's in the box? Don't look in the box.
No.
Marsh, we got you the Casamigos tequila.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Might make my clothes fall
Don't let our
off.
boss Tommy matter.
And then we have a couple other
he
things
loves
here.
tequila. Yeah.
A couple more
nice.
bourbons.
That's awesome.
and whatnot.
Fantastic.
Didn't want to monopolize the time. I just forgot to tell you guys. And, Our friends over at Dirt Cheap are always taking
Get
care
the
of
app
us.
going on. All right, cool. I'm going to check. Download the app. Have it delivered.
Yes.
Exactly. Then you get dirty.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Is these T-shirts. At one point, we're going to have "Let's Get Dirty" on them.
Ooh. I mean, you have to now.
We got to
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yep.
All right, so there you go.
So, all right,
Download the
thanks
Dirt
to our
Cheap
friends
app.
over at Dirt Cheap.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it. Well, I was saying that, for me, I don't have a problem. NC State is an 11 seed. DJ Burns has quickly become one of the faces of the tournament.
Yeah.
Big guy, left-hander, is able to make big buckets, and they're trying to find ways to stop him. So he's been fun to watch. I don't necessarily need to see a Cinderella because I don't expect them to win the tournament. I mean, the most you normally get is one or two make it to the Sweet 16, maybe to the Elite Eight. To make it to the Final Four is going to be a tough challenge for any of those teams. I want to see the teams that we think are the best teams in the country. Kentucky losing to Oakland. If they play Oakland 10 times, they probably lose 9 of them. Oakland probably lose 9, but they were able to win that one game, and that's what the tournament is. But at the end of the day, the better teams are going to win, and they're going to show up.
I agree with that. I do like the Cinderellas, but I also love when really great teams are playing their best basketball. Like Duke, I think a lot of people thought, this is the round where Duke loses.
Yeah.
Duke looked fantastic.
I mean, from the jump.
And I would rather see those teams playing at their best basketball late in the season because that is more compelling to me than having like a St. Peter's who last year, right? They almost made it to the Final Four, but they really didn't. Purdue is playing good basketball right now. That's a team that has struggled recently. So I want to see those teams who have struggled in the past find their game and make their way to the Final Four.
I'm having a hard time. If you've been following, even if you just have followed the tournament, you haven't been following college basketball throughout. I'm having a hard time finding a bad matchup in the Sweet 16. Clemson knocked off a Baylor team yesterday that a lot of people thought could make the Final Four. It's Clemson, Arizona. San Diego State and UConn might be the weakest of the matchups in the Sweet 16. Again, though, we see a repeat of the national championship from a year ago. Alabama and North Carolina. Alabama doesn't play defense, but they can run. They knocked off Grand Canyon yesterday, and a lot of people favored Grand Canyon and James Madison. The teams that are the Cinderella teams, those are the ones that everybody was circling. Grand Canyon, James Madison. James Madison, experience. They play with a lot of energy. The energy got sucked out of the building because they were terrible yesterday against Duke. But Alabama, North Carolina, fun matchup. Your boys, Illinois versus Iowa State. Iowa State's one of the best defensive teams in the nation. You move on to Friday's games. Again, I can't find a bad matchup. NC State is the quote-unquote Cinderella against Marquette, who, again, has been outstanding. Gonzaga, down year for Gonzaga. Mm-hmm. They've looked like one of the best teams in the tournament. You mentioned Purdue.
Wow.
It's been Purdue because they don't make it to the Final Four. Well, with Zack, who was a monster again yesterday, they look legitimate. That's a great matchup. Duke and Houston. Houston, they had to hold on last night against Texas A&M because 3 or 4 of their guys got into foul trouble. They were down like nobody.
Texas A&M shot 45 free throws.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
That is absurd.
You got to play better defense if you're Houston. You give up 45.
Well, they normally do. It's one of the best defensive teams in the nation next to Iowa State.
You cannot put a team on the line 45 times.
I agree.
Ever.
Right.
At any level.
Is that a lot?
That's a whole lot.
That'd be a lot for like 3 games.
Yes. That's ridiculous.
That'd be a lot for a month.
Yeah.
And then you got Creighton and you got Tennessee. Again, I don't think there's a bad matchup in the Sweet 16. It goes to the bigger point of I don't think you need a Cinderella team. They're fun. They're a fun story. You get to know them a little bit. But you are seeing some of the best teams in this round, and then it's going to make for an even better Elite Eight and Final Four. I've enjoyed the tournament this year. I think it's been a lot of fun. And Carey's still got his Illinois Fighting Illini in there. So there you go. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Shohei Ohtani, is he doing himself a disservice by not taking questions about this betting situation involving his interpreter?
Well, it's a gamble.
Okay, Jamie. Wow. We'll ask some of the more pertinent questions surrounding this investigation next on 101 ESPN.
you looking into replacement windows? Well, let me help you out. Head over to Window World, the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues, and it's really easy, too. Book an appointment with them. Give them a call at 314-993-1800. They are the best in the business. They're also ranked number one in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. And one thing about Window World is they use a double-strength glass that gives it a strength not commonly used in replacement windows. I know this because I went to the warehouse. I stood on a window, bounced a little bit up and down, and it did not break. And if it does, don't worry about it. They've got a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and the labor, so you don't have to worry about your replacement windows anymore. So again, give them a call at 314-993-1800. Again, that's 314-993-1800, or you can always visit them at windowworldstlouis.com.
So this Shohei Ohtani situation certainly not going away anytime soon, and that's because there's a lot of questions that are still left unanswered. And Shohei Ohtani faced the media today, but did not take any questions. Or he will face the media today, but he's not going to take any questions on it. From, I don't know, a legal standpoint, that probably makes the most sense.
Yeah, you don't talk.
Yeah.
Your lawyer will tell you, hey, you don't answer any questions because you may say the wrong thing. You may misunderstand the question or respond in a way that can be open for difference of opinion. So you just don't say anything. And
that's kind of what has already happened, Carey, because when this first came out, Ohtani's representatives, handler, whatever, said that Shohei Ohtani fronted the money to help out his interpreter, who had got himself into, I don't know, like $4.5 million or something like that in debt.
Yeah.
So Ohtani, according to the handler, was helping out his interpreter, this longtime interpreter.
It's a lot of money.
But then there was the almost immediately there was a no. Shohei didn't know what was going on. So you already have a contradiction on this.
Yes.
So it would make sense to your point, Carey. The lawyer saying, don't say a damn thing.
You already said too much.
Here's your prepared statement.
You already said too much.
You don't speak the language. You said too much.
You said too much. Somebody did.
Here's your prepared statement. Read this. Don't take any questions and walk the hell out. The biggest, if we cut through everything, guys, and I know there's a lot of questions here, but the number one question that Major League Baseball has to figure out is whether or not there was money placed on baseball games, specifically games that Shohei Ohtani was involved in. because that second part is how you get to become Pete Rose. If you bet on a game that you're involved with, it is a lifetime ban, according to Major League Baseball's bylaws. If you wager on baseball outside of a game that you're involved in, it is a 1-year ban. If there's no baseball wagers, now it becomes a legal/IRS problem of, okay, how much money was exchanged? What sports were you betting? Did you pay tax? All of that. That's out of baseball. I mean, not that baseball can't suspend you.
Yeah, but that's nothing. Ohtani's got so much money, it doesn't matter.
But that would be nothing for Ohtani.
Nothing.
He would skate in that case.
So I have heard a lot of different reports on this. First one I heard was that there was no baseball bet on.
Right.
Now, as they dig deeper, will they find that? Who knows? On the surface, they were saying that. Like, it's not a big deal. It's just some bets that his interpreter placed. But
NBA, international
$4.5
soccer,
million is
NFL, college football.
It's a big deal.
No, I understand. It'd be way worse if it was baseball.
Okay.
For Ohtani.
We know this to be true. There are guys today, somewhere in the world, has placed a $15 or $20 million bet on something.
I'm sure.
So, like, there's people that have that kind of money, that have that kind of adrenaline rush from doing it, and if they lose, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Shohei Ohtani has the funds to do exactly this. Whatever the hell he wants, quite honestly, except bet on baseball.
Yes.
If you bet on baseball, he's in trouble, man.
He's in big trouble.
He's in huge trouble. And if you bet on games that he actually had an impact on, he's not in trouble. He's done.
Yes. Correct. It's a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
Now, what we don't know is whether or not he had his interpreter place the wagers for him, or if he didn't know. There are
So shady.
Here's the thing. Now,
The interpreter's the fall guy in this one,
No
right?
question.
Like Chris Carter said, you got to get yourself a fall guy.
Is he a fall guy? Or we have seen situations before where entertainers have had other people kind of handle their financial situation and people siphon money from them.
Anthony, you're going to have the interpreter handle your finances?
This is somebody that knew Shohei Ohtani when he was 10 years old. He's been with him.
Oh, Carey, you had a guy like that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not.
That worked out well, didn't it?
$4.5 million is
Yeah.
45,000.
Shohei made 65 last year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm presenting all scenarios
65
here.
salaried.
Yeah, he made like 30,
No,
30 after taxes. Yeah, all the money goes
What?
away.
Yeah, are you talking all his endorsements and everything?
I think all told he made 65.
I barely mean more than that.
Well, maybe for tax purposes, he made
Yeah.
65. I don't know.
What did he make in Japan alone?
Regardless, what I'm saying is he's made a ton of money. If he did entrust the interpreter, who wasn't just the interpreter, he drove him around. He also like dinners and all that stuff. If he had access to money, could he have been siphoning money over time? And finally, it just got to the point where Ohtani realized. I'm just presenting
Honestly,
other options.
I don't think that's. We don't know, right? But the first statement to me was the most honest statement. Oh yeah, he covered the bets. He covered. Well, why would you?
Yeah, my buddy screwed up. He's got a bad habit, and I bought him out of his debt so that he doesn't have his legs broken.
Yeah,
right.
To the tune of $4.5 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money,
when
but if
you
it's
got a lot of money,
your 10-year-old buddy, or from the age of 10, like you're like, okay, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna harm me if you don't help me.
Yeah, maybe the guy went to him and said, "Hey, listen, I've got no other options here. I owe this money."
Yeah.
And Shohei fronted it, and then obviously the media found out about it, and now he's in a situation where
Or he was
being investigated.
Or he was placing bets for Shohei.
He was placing bets for
and
Shohei.
he'll still get paid another $4.5 to $10 million to shut up and take the blame for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Quite
could just be he could just be a liar, though. He could have lied about that first thing. Apparently, this is the newest thing that came out, that Mizuhara claimed he went to UC Riverside in 2007, and the school has no record of that even happening.
Oh boy, this guy.
This guy's track record, to me, after this came out, I'm like, okay, can this guy be
A con
trusted?
man?
Right.
Could he be a con man? Yeah.
may be.
And maybe he is in the first. And we talked about this
Maybe
last
it's an
week.
extortion.
Maybe.
Last week we talked about it to where maybe
I placed a bet in your name. Now what are you going to do about it? You're going to pay me to take the blame for you.
Well, Shohei's going to lower her up then in that situation. Go ahead, Mike.
Shohei just needs to hire some people from back home. and talk to this guy.
Yep, talk to him sternly.
Well, we were talking about it last week that there's a possibility that he was just lying to himself, thus lying to everybody, saying, oh, yeah, no, he covered it, like, it's fine. But then once he said that, everyone was like, yo, that you just made Shohei look bad because this is actually illegal. This is not FanDuel or DraftKings. Like, this is an illegal bookie in California. You cannot say that. And that's when he was like, oh, well, I just said it because I thought that's what sounded good at the time. I was actually lying about it. And that's also a possibility.
Yeah.
Or this guy's just lying in circles because he doesn't want to get in trouble.
Oh, that's true, too.
And now he's told so many lies he doesn't remember what the truth is.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Did Saturday's performance show why Jordan Kyrou is so valuable to the Blues? Cue the text line in 3, 2, 1. That's next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Hey, when it comes to finding the right remodeling company, just go with the right one right away. It's Mosby Building Arts. They're fantastic. Everybody's had a project, a home remodeling project that went sideways on them. Whether you try to do it yourself or maybe you hired a big box company because you thought you were going to get the best price, and then all of a sudden that big box company that didn't even measure is all of a sudden adding extra pricing onto it, right? Or maybe it's a situation where you thought you actually did go with a reputable contractor, but now the pieces and the material are delayed and you're without a kitchen for months on end. That's why you have to go with Mosby Building Arts. When it comes to the right remodeling team, Mosby's got it. I've seen it for myself. I walked throughout one of their locations, met their people. They're fantastic. They've got their own engineering. They've got their own architects, their own plumbers, their own electricians, all within Mosby. They're not contracting anybody out. That means that your project, when it gets started, it's going to be done right from the start, and you're going to love it when it's all said and done. No project is too small. So whether you're, redoing just a small part of your basement or you're undergoing a full bathroom remodel, Mosby Building Arts, they're the team to call first. So give them a call right now, 314-909-1800, 314-909-1800. Tell them Stalter told you to call, or call Mosby.com is their website. Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company.
he was going here tonight. I was trying to find as much ice time as I could in the third period for him. Mixing him in on that fourth line, but he was flying. Like, he was doing a lot of good things here tonight.
Kyrou gets it ahead. Kyrou, partial break, score! If you've got a hat, chuck it in your radio. 3 goals in the game for Kyrou.
Chris Kerber on the call over the weekend. The Blues lining up against the Vegas Golden Knights tonight in what essentially is a must-win game for the Blues. We're to that point in the season. If they lose tonight, mathematically, are they out? No. But mathematically, things get real tough if you lose to this specific opponent, especially if it's a regular timed loss, a regulation loss.
I would like to, credit us, me, Marsh, and Randy Carricker. You all were out last week, and we had a segment on Thursday, right, Marsh, where we were questioning Jordan Kyrou, questioning, what was he? Just us, the fans, everyone wanted to know. I mean, what was he going to do? And clearly, he was listening to us because he had 3 points in that game. Yeah. He had a hat trick on Saturday. Give credit to us. Yeah. Because what we did on Thursday clearly was the thing that shot him, in the right direction. So I'm proud of us. Yeah, you all should be. You're part of the fast lane, so you all should be proud as well. All right. We are all a part of this. Yeah. Yep. Once you all
it was
know
a
that.
group project, and we did most of the lifting, and you guys still get an A+.
You still get an A.
I like those.
Yeah.
I do too. Those are kind of nice. Yeah.
There was a girl in high school. Her name was Karen. For real. French girl. Karen is what her name was.
Karen.
And I was already playing like junior hockey, and I was trying my best to get all the assignments, and I really was. She was
now,
awesome.
when you say try your best,
yeah,
are we talking about like
I don't feel like you really
like an average student trying their best, or
I
just
put my name on the paper?
No. I really was.
I was there.
I really was. And she had like 4 different classes with me, and she's a great person. It was nothing more than that, but she would take notes to help me out, like take extra notes as I should hit. And then the notes started to become more like homework or assignments.
Yeah.
And I wasn't mad about it. And so then I just had to write it into my own handwriting. And then at one point, her handwriting started to look an awful lot like mine.
So you just stopped even doing the writing part.
Maybe. Allegedly. And, thanks to Karen, I passed like 4 grades, like no problem.
I can't turn this in with your handwriting, McFly.
Pretty much what happened is I was like, she saw me rewriting them. She's like, well, why are you rewriting them? I said, because I can't, your handwriting's way better. So then she started working and practicing.
Holy smokes.
That is.
All of a sudden, it was in my handwriting, but from her, I wasn't mad.
Very thankful.
Yeah, very thankful. Still friends to this day, by the way.
That's good. That's nice. Yeah.
And she's a teacher. Imagine that.
Now we know where Jamie gets all his Blues notes from. It's all coming from Karen.
Yeah.
She's just a victory.
Yeah.
Karen's been given that.
Karen was actually the one who gave Jamie the answers to the test.
Yes, literally. That's why he says that. Marsh, that's a great point.
That's a really good point. Yep. Thank you,
anyways, so from what I'm hearing from you guys is all I keep hearing is that line from Half Baked is, you should be kissing my ass.
Yeah.
That's what I hear from you guys right now.
Blues fans should be thanking us.
Yeah,
we did a good
interesting.
Job.
Jordan Kyrou.
You guys are motivated.
What did he do? We did everything.
Yeah. Wasn't his skill or his ability or anything like that.
Pushing him in the right direction.
Yeah, sure. Now, I know that some Blues fans, they won't want to give him an ounce of credit. They'll say, well, what about all the bad games? But Jordan Kyrou did on Saturday illustrate why he needs to have performances like that for the Blues. What? What are you reading?
Thanks, Dad. Just came in off the top rope. He said, Karen's keys to victory.
Yes. That's it. Jamie gets those keys to victory straight from Karen.
I always check my phone, too.
Yeah.
Are you listening today? What do the Blues need to do?
Karen, I haven't received your text.
Panicking. Just a little.
Hey,
LOL.
It's coming up, 3:45. Just a reminder. Yeah. Anyways, you had mentioned, Jamie, earlier, Jordan Binnington, Robert Thomas, and Colin Parayko. As those 3 players go, so do the Blues.
Yeah.
You're right. When it comes to Jordan Kyrou, though, you get those outlier performances from time to time. He could be the one that gets you in the damn playoffs.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. As of right now, though, I'm not going to rely upon that.
No. You rely on those three guys.
I rely on those guys, and then other players are gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And Jordan Kyrou at $8 million, you should be relying upon this guy. But the inconsistencies of his game have made it difficult to rely on him game in and game out. He's a guy that goes from being benched to double shifted. That tells you everything you need to know between, the high point of his game and the low point of his game. Now, that being said, if Jordan Kyrou finally figures out what his best game is, he does have the ability. That's the kick in the nuts, is that it's you watch him play the other night against the Minnesota Wild, or the other afternoon against Wild, and you're like, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. Like, he wasn't even thinking about passing. And you look at him, and he got the puck inside the blue line, and it was just like tunnel vision. Like, I'm going to take it to the net, and I'm going to shoot.
Sure.
And then other times you look at it, though, in the season, he tried to pass it, like, through somebody's legs to get it to another guy for no reason.
What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
We were talking about it last week, and some of the defensive deficiencies you could probably deal with if you're getting performances like this on the offensive end, in the ozone. If you can get 3 goals, if you can get 3-point games where you're impacting the game in the manner in which he has the last couple of games, you would probably accept some of the lackluster, maybe not as hard on the defensive end or not as willing to commit, but you have to have the other end. You have to have the guy that you pay $8 million to being your best player, being your goal scorer, because that's what he was paid to be. Robert Thomas was paid to be the playmaker, to be the guy that does all of it.
Yeah.
And you were paid to score goals. And if you're not doing that and not competing on the other end, that leaves people very, very frustrated.
Yeah, and I've said this before, and Carey, you've heard me say it. Anthony, I know you've heard me say it. You don't really need Jordan Kyrou to be a 200-foot player. You don't.
Right.
You need him to be a 200-foot player when the game's on the line.
Yeah. It's an important distinction.
It is. And that's where guys like Brett Hull, any of the goal scorers that you go back in the 90s, early 2000s, even right now, Austin Matthews and these guys here, they're not 200-foot players.
Right.
They hover around a little bit, kind of, sort of, play defense, and then, boom, they go on offense. Now they're elite scorers. But when the game's on the line, Austin Matthews is down below the goal line, working hard, playing his position, getting the puck, or chipping it off the wall, knowing that this is the best play right now.
Yep.
And that's where Jordan Kyrou needs to get, is not to Austin Matthews' level. That would sure be nice. But I'm talking about just play recognition, to where you can go run the horses all day long on offense. Just don't cost us defensively. Just don't cost our team with a bad decision. When there's no play there, put it up the wall. Just chip it, advance the puck, and then use your speed and go get it.
We talk a lot about Jordan Binnington when he's in a game and let's say he gives up 3 or 4 goals, but he makes that timely save. That's the one that you need to win the game.
Yeah.
Could the same be said about Jordan Kyrou in this season? If he goes on a stretch here of the next 10 to 12 games where he is red hot, do you think he could change his narrative from this season?
Well, then he better be doing what he's doing right now.
Right.
Like, it can't be 1 goal every couple of games.
It's got to be consistent.
It's got to be consistently producing offense. Not only scoring every game, but assists. Like, what he does translates to goals. That's the only way you can deal with a scenario that you're talking about. Because the goaltender is one thing.
Right. It's sort of hard to compare, but I'm trying to...
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But to play winning hockey, you can't just be fluff and then try to go score on offense. Like, I say you don't have to be a 200-foot player. That's fine. But you can't be a 50-foot player either.
Yeah.
Can't be flying the zone.
You can't just be not back-checking. You can't just be doing whatever the hell you want and then you go, well, I gave up the puck 3 times, but I scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those 3 turnovers turned into goals. You're down 3-1.
Well, those guys need to play better defense down there then, I guess.
Those guys are my
job.
play defense.
I scored.
I scored a goal. That's what you want from me.
Oh, I back-checked that one shift. Yeah.
Remember that time, Coach, when I back-checked?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on your highlight reel.
First game of the year.
I saw it on your Instagram.
Pretty sure you did it on accident.
In fairness to Jordan Kyrou, his defensive game has been improved as well. He's been in better spots defensively, hustling back, on the defensive side, getting back to the middle of the ice. He's no Selke Trophy candidate, but it looks like, to me, the effort has been there.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastline on 101 at ESPN 311. Your time check is brought to you by Carlson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We do have Blues Q's coming up at the bottom of the hour, so if you've got any Blues-related questions, you can send them into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Again, Blues Q's coming up in about 20 minutes or so. 314-399-9646.
Anything you need, you text it in. I'm going to get Carey.
I was going to say, we might need to have Carey's number.
Yep, absolutely. What's trending is next in the Fast Line.
Well, it's that time of year again. The springtime is here. The weather is nice. You're looking to accessorize your vehicle. Who isn't? Best place to do that? Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, and they're known for their unbelievable quality of work. And if you've got a Jeep, a Bronco, SUV, pickup truck, even minivans or cars, Pure Performance has something for you. And I know this because I go over there and visit their 25,000 square foot facility. It's the largest showroom, by the way, in the area for all these accessories. When you get over there, it's located again right off of Highway 70 in St. Peters. Ask for Shelby. Tell Shelby that Jamie Rivers sent you in. She loves hearing that. Going to ask you what your vehicle is, what your budget is, and then she's going to point you in the right direction and show you the leveling kits, the lift kits, the tires, running boards, whatever it is you're looking to do. She's going to help you with that. And then the technicians are going to do their job. And when you pick up your vehicle, you're absolutely going to love it. I'm telling you right now, you will absolutely love your vehicle. So please stop by in person or visit them online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, yesterday, the NCAA Ice Hockey Regional, the selection show, was on ESPNU, and the Centene Community Ice Center is hosting one of the regionals this upcoming weekend. It will have Michigan State going up against Western Michigan and my alma mater, North Dakota, going up against the school that I hate, the Michigan Wolverines.
Wow.
So it should be a fun one here at the Centene Community Ice Center. However, there's a lot of people, college hockey fans out, are somewhat upset about the arena only sitting 2,500 people. Me, on the other hand, I think it's going to be fantastic. I like having a smaller barn. I think it's going to be just an unreal atmosphere, and St. Louis fans are going to show up.
So if the college hockey fans are not happy with the amount of seating available, then here's how you fix it. You buy so many damn tickets and complain that there's no tickets left so that next time it's a bigger barn. Because, Marshy, as you noted, and as most people know, when you look at some of these regional things on TV, they're not representing.
They're not.
You see the seats right by the glass are empty, and you see pockets of lots of seats available. If that's the case, then, that's your fault, college hockey fan. If you feel that passionately about it, get to Centene, get online right now, buy up the tickets, buy up all the tickets that are available, standing room only, and then start your complaint box.
Cool.
So that after that, okay, well, we got to go bigger next time.
Yeah. So they can make adjustments. I mean, that's how any event works. I mean, Jamie, you've been running Synergy Hockey for how long now?
10 years this year.
10 years. So you make adjustments each and every year. So
we started out with 1 hour of ice time because that's all we could afford because we only had that many kids.
Then you
and
grew.
then as demand grew and grew and grew.
And then you opened up the Clear It Camp.
That's coming next year.
That's coming this
Unfortunately,
spring, right?
We've got the contract in place and just waiting on Jamie to sign it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this year things have been going really well, so Clear It Camp might have to be shelved because
No.
want to make sure it's launched at the right time.
We talked about. I thought we were a go.
Yeah, we're not. We're not.
Wow.
But Anthony, to your point, is
Wait, things are going well,
we
so
end
why
up,
would you want to make them better?
I'm fully staffed at about 40 different coaches trying to make this thing work the right way, Anthony. The Clear Camp clearly deserves the right time and attention.
Now I get it. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Now I get it.
I don't want to short Clear It Camp.
You know what? I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
I think a lot of fans are upset because these are, other than Western Michigan, we have three. I mean, Western Michigan, pretty big hockey school as well. They have a rowdy barn
screw
there.
them.
Yes,
The
we don't care. We don't care
Three
about
Michigan
the Broncos.
teams. We don't. You don't.
Hey,
We don't care.
Jamal Mayers went to
I love Jamal Mayers.
Do you, though?
Don't love his school. Don't love his alma mater.
This
Mike
is coming
Eastwood.
from a Chips fan.
Exactly. Does Carey sit there and wax, poetically about the Cleveland Browns?
Nah.
No, sir.
Northwestern.
I think I'm going to say talk about Michigan. I was like, well, he wanted to.
Sensitive
Why do we
subject.
that one
we
off.
don't have to. We don't have to. Bring
Shouldn't be a sensitive subject. If Carey would have just responded
taken
to
the trip.
them, taking a trip up there.
No call, no show.
No call, no show.
I mean, that's a great way to get started.
To Michigan.
You live and you learn, man.
This wasn't Western Michigan.
Yeah.
This was Michigan.
Me and Carey could be going head-to-head this Friday, but he decided to not show up. So it is what it is.
It's okay, buddy.
Sticking with hockey,
Worked
though.
out fine.
The women's Frozen Four just happened this weekend, and Ohio State won 1-0 over Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Joy Dunn, St. Louis native, scored the game-winning goal, and Ohio State wins the national championship. Jamie, you know Joy Dunn.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Dunn family for a minute. I mean, these people are freaks of nature in the best possible way. Tammy and Tom Dunn, the parents. So they had Jessica Dunn was the oldest. She got a full scholarship to Ohio State to go play girls hockey. Then it was Jinsey Dunn, full ride to go play Ohio State hockey.
Wow.
Then Josh Dunn got drafted by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Played a little bit in the NHL last year, was up at the start of the season here. He's still in the organization. Now you've got Joy Dunn, who was just the NCAA Rookie of the Year, by the way, for all of it, and then just scored the overtime, or the third period winner to win the national championship. So that's the family right there as far as the athletes that are going on.
That's not bad at all.
They have James Dunn as well, too, the youngest one. He played midget hockey all the way up. Like, he was another really good athlete as well.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And let's not forget about McKade Webster, or McKenna Webster. McKade's the brother. McKenna Webster plays on that Ohio State team as well with Joy Dunn. And both of those girls are St. Louis products, so very proud of them.
St. Louis representing. Let's go to college football here. Deion Sanders says NFL teams can expect his son Shadur and Travis Hunter, the two-way star, to navigate their way out of being drafted into bad situations in next year's draft. And, quote, he said, I know where I want them to go, so it's certain cities that ain't going to happen. It's going to be an Eli Manning situation.
Is Shadur that good to carry? Let me ask you this. Because Deion, I love Deion. Anthony, I know you love Deion. Carey, I don't know how you feel about Deion.
I love Deion.
Okay. Yep. Deion talks a lot. And I'm just wondering a couple things. One, him talking like this, does it hurt his son's draft value? Because some teams will be like, I'm not dealing with this crap. I want to draft a good player. I don't need Deion on line 2 bothering me all the time.
I don't think so. I mean, I think Shadur, they said he chose not to go out because he didn't think he would be the number 1 pick or the number 1 overall pick. Going back for another year, that offensive line was terrible last year. So if they got that corrected going into 2024, he'll have better numbers. He'll be upright and be able to make passes and find more receivers. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback.
But is he good enough to command where the hell he goes?
I have to look at the class. I think he probably is a first-round draft.
Yeah, but he's good enough to command. Well, to say, no, I'm not going there. I won't go to you.
I think if you just put it out there, that will at least make some teams say, hit the pause button. Because they don't want to draft someone. I mean, Eli Manning did it. He did not want to go to San Diego.
They still drafted him.
But he didn't. He wasn't going to San Diego. He was adamant about that, and he ended up in New York. And so, if you're able to do that because you're drafted high enough, some people don't have that choice. Most people don't have that choice. But if you are a person that has that option, I say go for it. If you don't want to play in a certain city, you should.
What if a team takes him anyways?
Well, then you're gonna have to figure something out.
Well, honestly,
unless you're just
the team just says,
hold
screw
out.
you, I don't care. You're the best player available, and we want you.
Unless you're gonna hold out.
Yeah, that's kind of what the Chargers
don't
did.
Sign the contract.
They're like, hey, fine, we're still going to draft you. You're going to wear our uniform. You're going to wear the hat and all that stuff. And then they found a trade partner.
Yeah.
And they hold the Giants over the Coles. Hey, you want him? Great. We want this pick and whatever else they got. So you find a trade partner.
They swapped quarterbacks, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah. So the Giants took Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
And the Chargers took
I think
Eli.
It worked out for both sides.
It did. Yeah, it did.
Honestly.
I hated it.
Maybe a little more for the Giants because they got Super Bowls out of it, but Phillip Rivers is pretty damn good.
I always hated John Elway because of what he did.
I don't
with
have
the
a problem
Baltimore
with
Colts situation. I hated that Eli Manning did it too.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if you're a if you're a first overall caliber draft pick, you're probably going to a terrible team.
That's correct.
It's a terrible and this is not a situation. Hopefully, prayerfully, you can get it corrected within the 3 to 4 years. More times than not, those teams are picking at the top of the draft often because they are terribly run organizations. And so if you are trying to avoid a situation where for the next 4 to 5 years of my life, I'm going to be miserable, I'm going to lose a lot of football games, I'm going to get hit in the mouth a lot because this team doesn't know how to construct a roster, put together an offensive line, put together pieces that help me be the best version of myself. If I can avoid that, I probably would, especially as a quarterback.
Carey, I think you make great points, very reasonable. For me, I'd rather see a Joe Burrow situation where he went to a terrible situation.
The first year and was fortunate enough they got the receiver, the next Jamar Chase.
But he was part of the solution. He changed the direction of that franchise.
Who did?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, come on.
I'd rather see that situation than, guys trying to dictate where they go. And I rooted against Eli, and we all saw how well that worked out.
It worked out well for him.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Jamie doesn't like it. He beat his team, his first team.
He did.
Blues Q's are next.
I just finished watching that Dynasty, too.
Did you?
It was
I am
It's
on.
awesome.
Okay, so I did.
Did you watch it?
I started
Yes.
it. So I'm on episode.
Who hasn't
I'm
watched
going to episode 4 now.
I haven't watched it.
Okay, so Anthony,
Yeah.
here's your homework.
Oh, no. Don't call it that. I definitely won't do
I'll
it.
get Karen to help you.
I'll watch it again for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we did this.
Cliff notes.
We did this in the pandemic.
I'll be your Karen.
I'm giving you homework.
Yeah.
Okay?
And you saw how long I held out.
Yeah, but this is different.
He
He was on Tiger King.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, we got nothing left to watch, so
Yeah.
might as well watch this.
Right.
Actually, we had nothing left to talk about. So.
Tiger
Yeah.
King was
jumped
intriguing.
Yeah. Well, this is nowhere near Tiger King, okay? It's you should like this. It's
Yeah.
football, Anthony. Between now and the end of the week, I'd like all of us to have seen Dynasty so we can discuss this because there are some very intriguing things about it.
You'll like it. I'm on episode 4. I started it Friday, Saturday, one of those. And you'll like it. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Also, Anthony, I know you're into superheroes now.
Yeah.
I'll throw another show out there for you because a new season is coming out soon. But the show called The Boys. I know you like people getting beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Mixture of superheroes. These guys are bad though.
Oh.
They're not good people.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you will be.
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right, so I got some TV
You
to
got
be
some
watching.
shows to watch now.
All right.
Go ahead and tease that thing again.
The Blues cues?
Yeah.
Okay. Blues cues. Blues related cues. Jamie needs some time before Karen can write his notes up again.
Yeah.
314-399-9646, the Air
Are
Comfort
you
Service.
home or are you at work?
What's going on? They're asking me about Blues
He's
questions.
at work.
I don't know what to do with Kyrou.
Blues questions next on 101 ESPN.
Are you currently thinking about remodeling your kitchen, your bathroom, or maybe an outdoor space? Well, then give my friends over at E&B Granite a call. Their number is 314-645-9300. Or you can stop by the showroom, 6135 Manchester Avenue. And whatever your project is, walk in, talk to the sales representative. Maybe you have a clear idea as to what you want to do. If so, great. They're going to help you. They're going to hold your hand during the entire process and make sure that you are completely satisfied. But maybe you're like me. I really didn't know. I knew what I wanted to accomplish, but I didn't know how or what styles and what was in style, what was not. The sales representative was awesome. Helped me with my countertops. It was great. The cabinets as well. I couldn't have asked for better service, and I couldn't have asked for better product. You go into the back of the warehouse, and they have all of the custom countertops in back, whether it's granite, marble, soapstone, you name it, they've got you covered. And the process is super easy. All you have to do is they get into your home, they measure everything properly, they pull out all the old stuff, no damage done, of course, which is super important. And then once they're done installing it, it looks phenomenal. It literally looks like something you'd see in a magazine. That's how good E&B Granite is. And they're doing the same for the kitchens, the bathrooms, and your outdoor spaces. So again, call them, book an appointment, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number's 314-645-9300. 314-645-9300 or visit enbgranite.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
Well, folks, you just heard it. The Blues take on the Vegas Golden Knights tonight in a great matchup. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. A big game for the Blues. You can listen to it right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll continue talking about the Blues. We'll have our Blues Cues coming up next. So if you have a question that you want to send our way, if you need Jamie or Karen to answer that question, of course, send it to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Blues Cues coming up next. Once again, Blues Vegas Golden Knights tonight right here on 101 ESPN. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Time for the Blues, your Blues-related questions via the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. I just looked over at Carey, and Carey, what's your, once you're working with somebody for a while, and, we've all been working with each other for a long time, and not just this show. I mean, Carey, you and I have been working together now for, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
A long time.
8 years or so, right? Off and on. But you get to pick up on the mannerisms and stuff. And I just looked over at Carey. I'm like, I know he's got something to say, and it's going to be funny.
Well, I was looking at Jamie texting. It's like he was texting him, like he was really trying to get a response.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't. And
I
he
had
put
to
the phone
fire off
down
as
and
many
he didn't
questions
get
as
it.
I could. All right, we're good.
All right, go ahead, Marsh.
ready.
Take over.
All right. This is a doozy to start things off from the 636. I know the fans have a love-hate relationship with Jordan Kyrou. Can you think of a former Blue that had a similar skill set that we can compare the two to see if we like that player or not for a long-term investment?
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think. Vladimir Tarasenko. And I'm not even joking.
Is he? Which one is better?
Well, Carey, so here's the funny thing, is everybody puts Vladdy up there as one of the most dynamic players, all this stuff. Vladdy didn't get 80 points until 2 years ago. It's the first time in his career he had 80 points. And if you look at Jordan Kyrou's professional career so far, 2 years ago he had 75 points, 73 last year, 56 so far this year. So I'm like, people think Vladdy was so offensively gifted, but Kyrou had 37 goals. Vladdy hadn't hit the 40-goal plateau until 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So what are we doing here?
Well, it kind of reminds me a little bit of when people used to complain about Tony. At the end there was certain frustration. Of course, in 11, the World Series won, but there were a lot of people still complaining about his late game bullpen switches or lineup choices. But now the further you get removed, the more perfect he becomes.
Wasn't batting the pitcher in the eighth hole an issue as well?
Exactly.
Why are we doing that?
So you're right, Jamie. I mean, I think we lose perspective. It's that we can't see the forest through the trees.
Well, let's do this, okay? Because I just pulled up Vladdy's stats.
Yeah.
Vladdy scored 40 in his fourth year in the NHL, 39 the following year. Those are the only 2 seasons he has scored more goals than Jordan Kyrou in a season.
All right.
His career high was in 21-22, 82 points. First time he broke the 80-point barrier. Before that, 75, 74, 73 were his highest point totals. Jordan Kyrou, 75, 73. And now whatever he's accumulating this year.
Let's play defense.
Well, neither did Vladdy. Let's just be honest. So,
Not until the cup run.
Even then. Go back and watch.
I thought it was a Jamie Rivers in grade school effort.
Ish.
Yeah,
he had other people help him.
Yeah.
100%. But I'm just saying, and this is, I'm not dogging on Vladdy.
Yeah.
But everybody put him on this pedestal of wow, He's our offensive guy. He's only had 2 seasons, not even 1 season where he scored more points than Jordan Kyrou.
Yeah.
But he was on a video game cover, so.
I know, but when you break it down, like.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, though.
So, yeah, so there's the comparable.
From the 217, Karen, does 1,000 games still mean as much as it did 25 years ago now that the game is somewhat safer?
It sure is. Yeah, but listen, 1,000 games is 1,000 games. Like, my God, 1,000 games is a lifetime of hockey. And if you've played 1,000 games, odds are you played some of it in the old school style too. You know, a little bit, a little gritty, the start of your career. So I don't care. I absolutely give full credit to any player that gets to 1,000 games, and no matter what era it is. 1,000 games, 1,000 games. You tip your cap, man.
Yeah.
From the 636, would it be more beneficial for the Blues' future to make the playoffs and get these young players experience, or miss the playoffs and get a draft lottery pick?
Yeah, no, not at this point. You're not getting a draft lottery pick. You're really not. You're not going to suck bad enough to get a draft lottery pick. So you're right on the cusp of making the playoffs. Just make the playoffs.
I agree.
Get it.
I don't think I don't think it benefits you to not make the playoffs, especially when you have a team that is, as you said, knocking on the door right there. The opportunities are right there in front of them. You gain experience by playing in the playoffs, and hell, anything could happen. Somebody on the opposing team could go down, get hurt. There could be an injury, and now you're able to advance. And once you start rolling, anything is possible. I mean, Anthony still believes that they're going to win the cup this year. So
it seems like they're kind of proving him right now.
He's actually, when he said it. Yeah. When he said it a couple of weeks ago, we kind of looked at him like he's crazy. But now,
said it, like a month ago.
Well, that was even worse. Yeah, you did. You actually did. Well, you said it right at the trade deadline. You said they didn't make any moves similar to 2019, which led us to say, because you said it,
Carey,
that they were going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah.
I predicted it 2 weeks before the trade deadline that they weren't going to do anything.
Because they were going to follow that up and win the Stanley Cup.
Well, we'll see how they do, and then we'll tell the story as we see fit.
As you see fit.
Yep. There you go. That's what I said, right? No? All right.
By the way, guys, this has nothing to do with Blues Cues, but I feel like I have to say this. So, not even 15 minutes ago, Derek Gould put out an article about Dylan Carlson being the starting center fielder for opening day.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, there was a collision in the outfield.
Wow.
Dylan Carlson and Jordan Walker, they collided in the outfield. Carlson is now out of the game. Derek Gould tweeted that Carlson jammed his left hand into the ground as he tried to brace himself from being spun to the warning track.
He got run over by a defensive tackle.
I was going to tell you that. I can tell you after running into many people larger than me, you probably aren't going to win that one.
Victor Scott?
That literally, that changes everything if he's injured.
Jammed his wrist into the ground. He can't catch a break. There are some players, and Jamie, I know you play with some guys like this, that no matter what, they just found, they're like a magnet for injuries.
Yeah.
Like
sometimes
injuries
they were
just
soft, too.
Well, you said it, I didn't.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Because some of the injuries, like, dude,
some of them, like a
that.
broken arm or blown out knee, like that's legit. But other stuff, like jammed wrist or something like that.
Tape it up. Tape it up. Figure it out. I don't know. Playing baseball with a jammed wrist might
playing
be
hockey with a jammed wrist isn't very fun either.
That's right. You're probably right.
How about you blocking Ray Lewis with a bad wrist?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I had a wrist brace that would only allow my wrist to go.
Yeah, you have the metal piece. I did the same thing. I had a surgery on my wrist because I jammed it.
Wouldn't let it go back any further than that.
And so I was the top hand of my stick and had a metal plate and had Velcro straps I could tighten, and I could go forward, but I couldn't go backwards with it.
Then you got to block. That's it. You got to turn. Yeah.
So you want to be a professional athlete? I want to do that one day. I want to have that, like Jamie and Carey just tell their horror stories like they did that one day, Marsh, and then after every time, so you want to be a professional athlete, do you? And then Jamie goes, one time I had to cut my leg off, and they had to put it on ice. And I played with one leg. And then afterwards, they duct taped it back until my body healed itself.
I mean, Jamie literally died and came back to life.
Died
There's nothing you can't top that.
I can't top that. I don't have
I'm
a
glad
story.
you can.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because if you could top that, means you wouldn't be here with us.
It's very true.
I'd miss you, Carey.
Yeah.
All right, that's your Blues cues here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Next, we'll get Karen's keys to victory for the Blues tonight and first goal of the game here
She's
on
got
101
'em.
ESPN. Nice.
Fellas, are you currently using ED meds? Oh, don't worry about it. Nobody cares. Not in this room, that's for sure. I just care that you're ready when it's game time. And the best way to do that is to go to the Medicine Shop in St. Charles. They're your destination for cheap ED meds, and quit paying too much for those ED meds. The Medicine Shop has a generic called sildenafil for less than $2 a pill. Prescription is required, of course. And they also have a great program for people with busy schedules that cannot get to the pharmacy to pick up their meds. They have free, discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace. I take full advantage of this. I use this program. I absolutely love it. And every time I talk to representatives of the Medicine Shop, I thank them for such an awesome program, and you will too. They also have the full pharmacy located in St. Charles. It's just awesome. Any questions you have, they've got answers for you. If it's cold and flu, or hey, I'm losing my voice. I know the feeling. They help me out. They guide me in the right direction, and they'll do the same for you as well. So please stop by in person, check them out, or visit them online at stcharles.pharmacy. That's stcharles.pharmacy.
Gauntlet contestant. So if you want to play in the Gauntlet today, text into the Air Commerce Service text line at 314-399-9646 for an opportunity to play Marsh, Carey, or me. No Jamie, because Jamie's got TV duty tonight for Bally Sports Midwest.
I'll be back the rest of the week.
But he'll be back the rest of the week.
Yeah. Well, Thursday I'll be off for a weekend.
Except for Thursday, when he's off a little bit early. And now it's time for Jamie's.
I forgot about Thursday.
Keys to the victory tonight for your St. Louis Blues.
Yeah. So, just off a hunch, good text message came in. Apparently, the Blues are going to have a good start tonight. Their record.
What does Karen mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Well, she's an avid watcher, and she's noticed that when the Blues score first or leave the first period tied or better, the record's really good. Mm-hmm. Okay? So the suggestion would be to have a good start. And I think you have to do that anyways. You want to start good at home here. You want to get on the offense, get on the forecheck. You want Vegas to be on their heels. You don't want them to be dictating the pace of the game. If you're the Blues, you want to dictate the pace of the game tonight. Key number 2, pucks and bodies to the net. The Knights have a terrible problem defensively right now. They've got some injuries. Their goaltending issues. There's injuries, new goaltenders. Get pucks there and bodies. Jake Neighbors, line 1, get there.
Guy.
Get there. And everybody else follow suit.
It's my favorite player.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He really is. He gets it. He understands. And even talking to Jake the other night, he's more of a perimeter scorer in junior hockey and all that stuff, score from distance. He's like, I just knew that we needed guys to go to the net and start doing it and start scoring goals. Because I like to score goals. So he goes to the front of the net.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
He's leading the team, tied for team lead in goals.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Not me. Not because I don't like Jake Neighbors. I thought he's a couple of years away from being a 20-goal scorer, let alone 25 plus.
So I saw this guy on Twitter who was complaining about Zach Hyman and was saying, Zach Hyman's not that good. All he does is go to the net and just tap pucks in.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You know nothing about hockey.
Yeah, Zach Hyman's
50 goals.
50 goals, and he's one of the hardest working guys on the ice. He takes a beating. He's physical. He's strong defensively. Yeah. You get rewarded by being smart. That's for sure. So next one, too, is discipline for the Blues. And it's not just like staying out of the box. Last time you played Vegas, I think you gave them 8 power plays. Not great. Don't do that. Yeah, well, and you're the least penalized team in the league. So don't do that to yourself. So being disciplined that way is certainly one part of it. The other part is discipline to your systems. Mm-hmm. Don't fall out of your systems. Tonight might be a game where it could be 0-0 for 55 minutes of the game. You cannot be the team that breaks. You have to be the team that sticks to your system, sticks to what you're doing, keep that discipline, and force the other team to make a mistake at some point.
Yeah.
So those are my 3 big keys to the game.
All right. You know what time? What time it is?
Let's go, boys.
We need you to score more goals.
Get those loose pucks.
Thomas to Kyrou. Score!
Goal!
No big deal. Game winner.
All right, Jamie, who you got scoring the first goal tonight?
Braden Shen. Got the captain. By the way, I have a suggestion. Not now, but maybe I'll just throw it out there. For our home runs things this year for the Cardinals, I was thinking about this driving in, is we should have it tiered. So that, like, the top 4 guys that are, like, home run guys, like Goldie, Arenado, Gorman, that's 1 point.
I love this.
I like that.
But if you pick, like, Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan, somebody that's not a home run guy, they're worth 2 points.
Yeah.
And if it's, like, somebody like Victor Scott or Mason Wynn, they're worth, like, 3 points because they really are not supposed to have the power.
Jamie?
Yeah, that's a hell of an idea.
And that way they'll make it a little more interesting to where there'll be a strategy, not always picking chalk, because, well, you should, because the odds tell you that.
Right.
You could be like, you know what? I'm behind by 3 here.
Yeah.
I got Mason Wynn tonight. And then if he hits, like, bam, think of that.
I love it.
I'm okay with it, too.
Jamie,
We'll refine it, but...
Goofy, you know what. Nice job. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. Marsh, who do you got for first goal?
Wow.
Unless it's Carey. I forget.
I don't know.
It might be Carey. Well, I'll let Carey go.
Okay, thank you, Jake Neighbors.
Oh, what a surprise.
I mean, he's leading the team in goals. I don't think that.
See, like, right now, like, hypothetically, you could say, like, Nick Leddy, and he'd be worth 3 points.
Oh.
You know? Like,
I like that.
yeah.
I do.
It's like hitting a underdog.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Brandon Saad. Scored the game winner against the Minnesota Wild. I think he gets the first goal tonight. It's going to be right outside the blue paint.
Okay.
Right out there.
All right. So it's up to me, huh? I haven't hit one of these in months.
Well, you haven't been here.
True.
Okay, I missed 1 week.
It was a big week. It was a big week.
It really was. There was a lot of games taking place that week.
What the hell? There's games every week.
A lot of games, not so many hosts.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not enough.
All right, give me Robert the Thomas then.
Oh, really going out there, huh?
Well, you took Braden Shen who's on the top line. You took Jake Neighbors on the top line. I might as well complete the trifecta here.
Our guys do all the work, and your guy will reap the benefits. Watch.
He's going to be Butch Neighbors.
No, I said Robert Thomas, not Kyrou.
Oh my.
Let's be honest.
The fast lane.
Someone weird's going to score. It's going to be like either like Nathan Walker. He scored against the Avalanche.
Yeah, or it's going to be Toropchenko.
Toropchenko.
Well, he's actually not a bad goal scorer, Anthony.
No, I know, but I feel like he's always the one that when you're watching the game, you're like, son of a...
Yeah, Torpo's got 14 goals.
Honestly, I think 10 of them are the first goal of the game.
It might be. It might be. You're not wrong.
Or the idiot's not taking
He
it.
scores in big games, too.
He does, yeah.
I like that.
Maybe Scott Perunovich gets his first goal of his career tonight, and that's the first goal of the game.
No. Is that
It's
him?
Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
What the hell?
It's not going to be...
Who did you pick,
Perunovich.
Marsh?
I
you
picked Braden Saad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who scores first, Perunovich or Kessel?
Kessel.
Ooh, Perunovich.
Percentages tell me it should be Perunovich.
Yeah.
Which is why I'll go
Although
Kessel.
Kessel shoots the puck as much, though.
Yeah.
Like twice a game. Same as Perunovich.
By the way, the Snake Pit absolutely nailed Jamie's attire tonight.
Yeah, somebody's got, like...
Insider information.
Yeah.
Inside information.
Insider information or like a camera in our office. Because I literally just bought this blazer on the last road trip. Wearing it for the very first time tonight, and they nailed it. Light blue blazer, blue tie, and a white shirt. Really? Anthony, guess what I walked into the station carrying today?
I don't know, Jamie, a light blue blazer with a white shirt and a blue tie?
Yep.
That was from Otani's bookie on the Snake
Well,
Pit.
that makes sense then.
The odds
you
were
go.
plus 150.
Yeah, but he ain't paying.
Ooh, not good. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Jamie, have a good call tonight.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow. We've got the Gauntlet next.
Cheap, cheap, fun, fun.
Let's get dirty. Dirt cheap is the best in the business. And again, I say this all the time. Don't let the name fool you. Dirt cheap is about the price, not the product. They have everything you need, whether it's your favorite beers, your red wine, your white wine, maybe it's your vodkas, maybe it's your tequilas. Maybe it's your bourbons. That's the category I circle. And Dirt Cheap takes great care of me. They've got the Maker's Mark. They've got the Elijah Craig, Angel's Envy. So many awesome options for everybody to choose from. And the one thing that we found out this weekend, I found out, I used the app. Dirt Cheap app, got on there, ordered a bunch of stuff, and it was there within no time at all. I absolutely loved it. It was really easy to use, very direct. And then the best part about it is that you can have it delivered to your home or you can pick it up curbside, whatever works for you. And there's also more specials and giveaways and all sorts of stuff on that app. You're absolutely going to love it. So get over to Dirt Cheap, any of the locations, get inside. You'll love it. Talk to one of the representatives or download the app today. And remember to have fun, everybody, but please be careful out there.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you master the Gauntlet?
The Gauntlet is powered by Master, your hometown source for business communications for more than 30 years. Visit mastor.com.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 401. Your time check is brought to you by Carlson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Justin, who's a first-timer into the Gauntlet. What's up, Justin?
Nothing much. Heading home from work.
Good man. Good time, then. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you playing today. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me?
You.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Said that.
Holy
with
smokes.
authority.
Yeah, with authority. All right.
All
now
right.
I'm a little. I wasn't nervous before. Now I'm nervous. All right, Justin. Good luck.
You shouldn't be nervous.
Okay. Good luck.
All right, Justin, as Anthony heads off into the cone of silence, is there a topic that you would prefer today?
What is the choices?
It's football, hockey, baseball, and random.
Football.
Well, you got to tell Marcia to spin the wheel, and we'll see if you actually get football. So tell Marcia to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
It does not look like it's going to be football. Justin, baseball is your category today.
I'll take it.
All right, so this is your first time calling in, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the rules, if you get the answer correct without any options, you get 2 points. If you get it correct with the options, you get 1 point. And if you get it incorrect, you get 0 points.
Sounds good.
All righty, here we go. In 2023, Miles Michaelis led Major League Baseball by making 35 starts. Who came in second with 34 starts?
Options, please.
Is it Kyle Gibson, Aaron Nola, or Zack Gallen?
I'll go with Gibson.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. This Thursday, the Cardinals open up the 2024 regular season against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Name the player who holds LA's single-season home run record.
I'll just stick it out there. Adrian Gonzalez.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, question number 3. Name the only batter to swat 8 home runs during last year's playoffs.
Can you say that one more time, please?
Name the only batter to swat 8 home runs during last year's playoffs.
Options, please.
Is it Adolis Garcia, Bryce Harper, or Corey Seager?
I'll go with Seager.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right.
Final question for you. Hometown legend Mike Shannon finished 7th in the 1968 NL MVP voting. But who won that honor?
Options.
Options are Willie McCovey, Bob Gibson, or Hank Aaron.
I'll go Willie McCovey.
Final answer?
Yep.
All right, we'll get Anthony Stalter back in here. He's coming back in. Justin, how you feel?
Not real well.
Okay, well, it happens from time to time. We'll see if Anthony is...
I think I may have got an offer on that one.
Oh, well, we'll see. Anthony, you back in. How are you feeling, sir?
I went in nervous. Then I forgot about the nervousness.
How was the cone?
Now I'm nervous again. It was lonely. Mike Ryder apparently out with one of the 900 diseases that we have.
One of the variants.
Finally got to Mike, who's in our producer's studio.
That's amazing because it's a glass door there, a glass window. He's kind of hard to get through.
Yeah.
He comes in often, though. So
Yeah, the fast lane has been a walking disease over the last month.
That's not great.
No,
we got to get it better at some point.
Yeah.
And it's our birthday month, which is really weird. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
give me that hockey.
Yeah. Well, we're not, but we will tell you to pack a lunch.
You should do that. Yeah, you should. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Beatles recorded their first record in No, I'm kidding. It's not.
I should know that you keep doing that now. So it's not random?
It's baseball.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. In 2023, Miles Michaelis led Major League Baseball by making 35 starts. Who came in second with 34?
Number of starts last year?
Yes.
I'll take the options.
Is it Kyle Gibson, Aaron Nola, or Zack Gallen?
Aaron Nola, Zack Gallen, or Kyle Gibson, number of starts. I'll go Aaron Nola. I think he was healthy for most of the year. Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah, Aaron Nola, final answer.
Question number 2. This Thursday, the Cardinals open up the 2024 regular season against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Name the player who holds LA's single-season home run record.
Oh, geez. Let's see here. Before he struggled there, Cody Bellinger had a good run. Who else with Dodgers? Agon. I'll take the options here. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody.
Options are Adrian Beltre,
Beltre,
Sean Green, or Gary Sheffield.
I'll take Sean Green, who seems like the outlier between those guys. I'll take Sean Green. Final answer.
All right. Question number 3. Name the only batter to swat 8 home runs during last year's playoffs.
Eight home runs last year. Well, Adolis Garcia put on a show, but so did Corey Seager. And I think Corey Seager had like 4 or 5 alone against one of those teams. I'll go Seager, final answer.
Final question. Hometown legend Mike Shannon finished 7th in the 1968 NL MVP voting. But who won that honor?
19 what?
1968.
I'll take the options.
Options are Willie McCovey, Bob Gibson, or Hank Aaron.
Give me Gibson. Final answer. Bob Gibson.
All righty. Ooh. Let's start. Well, let's start.
You don't have to.
No? You want to start at the top?
You can start wherever. But I'm just saying we don't have to.
All right, let's go to question number 2.
Uh-oh. Justin, one of us did not do great.
That was me.
This Thursday, the Cardinals open 2024 regular season against the Dodgers. Name the player who holds LA's single-season home run record. Justin, without the options, you said Adrian Gonzalez. Anthony, with the options, you said Sean Green. The correct answer is...
It is Sean Green.
I took the least likely option there.
Anthony, you lead 1-0. Question number 1. In 2023, Miles Michaelis led Major League Baseball by making 35 starts. Who came in second with 34? Justin, you said Kyle Gibson. Anthony, you said Aaron Nola. The correct answer is...
It is Zack Gallen.
Oh, wow.
Still 1-0. Anthony over Justin. Question number 3. Name the only player to swat 8 home runs during last year's playoffs. Anthony, you said Corey Seager. Justin, you also said Corey Seager. You both needed an option. The correct answer is...
Yeah, it's Adolis Garcia.
Oh.
Comes down to this final question.
1-0.
Both did bad.
1-0. Hometown legend Mike Shannon finished 7th in the 1968 NL MVP voting, but who won that honor? Justin, with the options, you took Willie McCovey. Anthony, with the options, you took Bob Gibson. If it's Willie McCovey, you got a walk-off. If it's Bob Gibson, you, Anthony, pitched a 2-0 shutout.
Wait, I thought we were tied.
No. It's 1-0.
1-0.
Oh, 1-0.
And if it's Hank Aaron, Anthony, you still win.
And there you go.
Come on, Hank or Bob?
Justin.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today. The answer is Bob Gibson.
Oh.
Anthony, you won 2-0.
Justin, that was rough on both of our parts, man. Nice job,
Yeah, I
though.
had the offer.
Hey, you called it, though.
Yeah, you did. You said you were struggling.
Well, it is what it is.
Oh, man. All right. Well, hey, Justin, thanks for playing. You're done with
Thanks
work.
for having me.
You're done with work. That's the key.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Have a good one.
I should have known it was Garcia. I said that first.
You talked yourself in there.
I talked myself into him.
Yeah, I like your thought process with Sean Green. Which one of these does not belong?
Totally, right?
Kind of mindset.
If you give me,
talked yourself into that one.
I did. Thank you. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I've done that before, and it typically works out.
I think Adolis Garcia was the one that hit like 4 or 5 home runs against the Astros. I know he hit 2 of them in one game.
I said him first, and I'm like that. But then I talked. Didn't Seager have?
He had a really good postseason too.
Didn't he have like 7 or 8 home runs in one postseason too, though?
Well, he didn't have 8 last year.
No, he didn't. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Marsh read off the news from Derek Gould earlier today, about a half hour ago or so, and we didn't have an opportunity to talk about it. But apparently Dylan Carlson and Jordan Walker collided in the outfield today during a spring training game, and Carlson is now, and we don't know all the details, but Carlson is banged up. Does this open the door for Victor Scott, who will not start the year for the Cardinals? At least that was the talk coming into the day. Does this now reopen the door for Victor Scott? We'll talk about it next on 101 ESPN.
All right. FanDuel.
Anthony, say goodbye to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tourney. Whether you're betting on the big upset or on a 1 seed, it's time to go dancing with America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins.
So about that, if you had Auburn or maybe Kentucky or, I don't know, maybe you're a KU fan or something, and you had them making a deep run and you already ripped up your bracket, FanDuel's got you covered. By the way, Carey, we were talking about our brackets earlier. The 101 ESPN Bracket Madness, I've got UConn, Arizona, Duke, and Creighton. So I'm actually doing okay. I thought I had Auburn going to the Final Four. A lot of people did, though. That's why you got to play FanDuel now. $200 to use on point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win it all with their NCAA futures. You got to visit FanDuel.com/fast, though, and then you can bet on college hoops until they cut down the nets. Again, FanDuel.com/fast. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Derek Gould of the Post-Dispatch reported that today at spring training during a game, Jordan Walker and Dylan Carlson collided in the outfield. John Denton is now reporting that Carlson went down following the collision with Jordan Walker on a ball hit to right center, and now Carlson, he was replaced. He got taken out of the game with a possible left shoulder slash wrist injury. He fell onto his shoulder during the injury.
I'm looking at the collision right now, and Jordan Walker kind of undercut him. Like he was diving for the ball. Dylan ran a long way.
Yeah, it's one of those hip tackles, actually, that they're trying to get rid of out of the NFL.
Out of the NFL, they're trying to ban. Yeah, right. Not great.
Not great at all.
No, so Carlson jams his left hand into the ground as he tried to brace himself from being spun to the warning track. That was how it was described by Derek Gould. This is a player that cannot stay healthy. For all of his potential, all of his, hey, he's still only 24, 25. Hey, the opportunity for Dylan Carlson is now here with the injury to Tommy Edman. For all of that, well, he's out again. Yep. Potentially out again.
Well, it's unfortunate for him because as we were talking about when Jamie was here, there are just some players that find ways to get injured. And, I mean, I'm looking at this ball. I'm looking at it drop in the outfield. I don't know if Victor Scott makes that catch. He probably does. It's probably not as close as that is. It's unfortunate, but this is kind of what we've talked about all spring training, outfield. How are they going to cover ground? Who is going to be out there? And now that you have this injury that may cost him some time, we don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, but if it does, you just sent Victor Scott the second down. Mm-hmm. Not that you can't bring him right back up, but what happens now? What do we do? What is next?
Well, your injury. So let's just start before we dive into Victor Scott, which is kind of the obvious. And I agree with you, man. I mean, look, Victor Scott should be up if Dylan Carlson suffers a long-term injury here with his wrist. But the outfield situation is a mess. Your depth is incredibly thin. Yeah. You don't have Tommy Edman. You don't have Dylan Carlson potentially. You don't have Lars Nootbaar. Now, Nootbaar might come back in the first or second week of the season, and some of this becomes moot. But if you don't have Dylan Carlson to start the season, what more do you need to give Victor Scott an opportunity?
Well, Michael Ciani's there, so.
I don't know.
The guy that was in Superbad?
No, that's Michael Cera.
Yeah, I didn't think he could play center field.
I mean, he could. I don't know.
That would be a Cardinal move, though.
Michael Cera in center field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we got the guy from Superbad, so let's put him in center field.
No, he's an actor.
Oh.
Yeah. No, you don't. You want to have an outfielder.
Still, I think it should be Victor. I still think it should be Victor Scott.
Yeah, you might have more
over
issues.
Anybody from Superbad.
He'd be wearing his headband like he did in Juno.
Yeah, totally. And we don't want to see that.
No, I don't think anybody does.
Victor, I mean, can you bring up Victor Scott and just give it a run? I did hear BK and Ferrario earlier today, and BK brought up a good point. If Lars Nootbaar is going to be back relatively quickly, you don't want Victor Scott in for a week and then to send him down. You don't want to do the yo-yo thing with the young player.
So what do you do? Because who's your center fielder right now? I mean,
for me, if Dylan Carlson's wrist, if it's bad or it's going to take an extended period, I'm giving Victor Scott a run.
Okay, but let's say they don't want to bring him back up.
Then they're fools.
Who plays center field?
Michael Cera. Or Ciani. Michael Ciani. Damn
it. They make do with what they have with a minor leaguer, and then when Lars Nootbaar comes back, he goes to center.
It always feels like we just make do.
I completely agree.
Like it's okay.
And would Victor Scott be making do?
No,
they're making doo-doo. That's what they're doing.
There you go. Like, why is this already? I'm already ticked off. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Because you know what they're going to do.
Right.
You don't know, but you do know.
Exactly, Carey. Thank you.
You have an idea because you've seen this story before.
Victor Scott being sent down. Any of you surprised?
No.
Any of you surprised that the exciting young player was sent down?
No. Not at all.
Would anybody be surprised if they brought up somebody you've never heard of?
Nope.
And plugged him in center field for a little while?
Nope.
No. This makes this trade for Andrew Kittredge that much more important too. At least early in the season, because you sent out Randy Richie Palacios.
Yeah, same thing,
same person actually.
Yeah.
Oh, Richie.
Your outfield situation
is terrible.
Is cratering because of the decisions you made in the past.
Well, no one can account for injuries. Right now, you have three outfielders.
And I'm not making light at this at all, but a death with Oscar Taveras, obviously.
Right. Well, I'm talking about just this year alone.
Yeah.
Like, no one can account for the injuries that they had. No one knew that Newt Barr was going to, I guess, crack ribs, or that with Tommy Edman, we didn't know that he had surgery because no one told us, so that's not our fault. And no one knew that.
It's your fault.
It's my fault.
Not you, but the Cardinals.
No, it's their fault. And no one knew that Jordan Walker was going to undercut Dylan Carlson in right center today, and now he's injured. It's it's unfortunate is what it is. Last year you had infielders playing in the outfield. Maybe you kick. You're in a bad situation if you don't bring Victor Scott back up. If you're going to play Michael Ciani, that's probably what they're going to do. If not, you're looking at Jordan Walker, Alec Burleson, and Brendan Donovan.
Well, you don't have a center fielder then. And
that's the point that I'm making.
Right.
Burleson.
No,
you have Ciani.
That's probably the route that they go.
I'm sorry, and this is I'm not trying to. No offense to him, he cannot be your opening day center fielder.
He will be. If Dylan Carlson is hurt,
stop it.
What are we 3 days away?
Yes.
Yeah, Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah. He got hurt today. He jammed his wrist.
It's got to be Victor Scott.
It won't be.
You think Mason won't play center field?
He could. Who's your shortstop?
They've already shown us that they can kick a shortstop to outfield, so why not?
No, you're Brandon Crawford.
Oh, that's true. You got Crawdaddy.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, look, and people might be like, "Wow, why are you guys complaining over this? It's not going to be a big deal for a while." But Carey, you bring up a good point. You can't account for the injuries, especially when you're a team. Let me backtrack. You're right. You can't account for injuries. Full stop. This team, though, has operated on thin margins for as long as I've known them. They've operated as if we'll make do until
they're forced to do something different.
Exactly.
Until they're out of the playoff race.
You guys tell me, if you don't have the pitching, which is a massive if, and we do get some text messages in, we got one earlier today, that we complain too much and we're not optimistic, like we have zero optimism and we're snarky about the Cardinals and all that. Why can't we talk more favorably about my favorite team? Okay. The pitching isn't good enough without Sonny Gray. Even the most optimistic person has to admit that, right?
Some people would say it's not that good even with Sonny Gray.
There you go.
I was going to say that. I was wondering, is it even with?
Is it the four guys that do the show from 2 to 6 here? Because that's really who you're talking about. Okay. So now your outfield depth is decimated because of injuries. What are you leaning on? I like the bullpen. I like the bullpen too. The bullpen, you can't be carried by a bullpen.
I don't want the bullpen to pitch as much as they did last year, especially to start the season.
It should be Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, but those are just two guys. Or Wills Contreras. It should be the top of the lineup. They've got you absolutely bang at the start of the season, and you are going to face really good pitching right out of the gates.
This is setting up for a
or maybe not, because Yamamoto got his ripped in the first inning against the Padres, so maybe he sucks.
I don't know.
No, he'll probably he just needs to start against the Cardinals to really make sure that everyone knows that he was worth all that money they gave him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is kind of setting up for a I don't want to say another 2023, but it could go left really quickly and be really bad.
Yeah.
And we would be as frustrated as we were last year watching this madness.
So we're going to play a new game. What's more concerning? Unless you guys did this last week, did you?
No.
Okay, so it is new.
I feel like this is absolutely needed right now.
Yeah, so what's more concerning? You can send in your text messages. You can throw out different scenarios. What's more concerning, the outfield situation or the starting pitching? That could be one of them. In fact, maybe we'll just do that one right out of the gates, give you an opportunity to send in your what's more concernings to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll be back next here on 101 ESPN.
March is a critical time to check your home's windows. If yours are cracked, leaking, won't open or stay open, now's the time to call Window Nation. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free plus 0 down, 0 interest, and make 0 payments for 24 months. You can also get a pair of St. Louis Cardinals tickets with a purchase of a house of windows. You know, this 2 down, 2 windows, get 2 free is an amazing deal. 0 interest, 0 down, no payments. Window Nation will give you a lifetime warranty on that window. And the best part is they can install that window in a day or less. With proven quality and services, no wonder thousands of homeowners have trusted Window Nation with their home, and you should too. Just reach out to them at 866-90NATION or go online at windownation.com. You can get a free, no obligation quote the same day. Again, that's 866-90NATION, 90NATION, or visit them online at windownation.com to schedule your free in-home visit. It's simple. Tell them Carey sent you.
.101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals are taking on the Cubs right now. Some spring training action for you. They're all knotted up at 3 in the top of the 6th inning. However, earlier today, Jordan Walker crashed into Dylan Carlson in the right center gap. As Jordan Walker lunged for the ball, he took out Dylan Carlson's legs. Carlson then spun to the warning track, landed on his shoulder/wrist, and is out of the game. We just talked about that. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Go to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues take on the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, the biggest game of the season thus far for the Blues, and you can listen to it right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. The Blues trying to inch their way into that final wild card spot in the Western Conference. We have a new game coming up called What's More Concerning. So if you have a scenario you want to throw our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. What's More Concerning? Coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at londoff.com and londoffautoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
On 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. As Marsh just told you in the SportsCenter update, we got a new segment called What's More Concerning? Perfect timing, I think, when it comes to the Cardinals news. So I'll start it off, and then we'll get to your text message. Carey, what's more concerning, the starting pitching staff as currently constructed or your outfield depth?
If you'd have asked me
can't
this,
say yes.
Yes. If you would have asked me this 2 days ago, I would have said pitching.
Mm-hmm.
But then was it 2 days ago they sent Victor Scott down? About 2 days ago? When you had this injury? You don't know when Lars will be back. You don't know when Tommy Edman will be back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who's going to play in the outfield because at this point, it's Alec Burleson and Brendan Donovan and Jordan Walker are your healthy, Michael Ciani.
Or Victor Scott.
I don't think he's coming back.
No, why would you say that?
Because it's the St. Louis Cardinals.
Why would you do that to us?
I didn't do anything. I don't send people to the minors or bring them up. I'm just a fan. But I also have watched enough to know that it's probable. Because what was the purpose of sending him down? He was playing and performing really well, right? So why did you send him down? Why did you, Anthony, send him down?
I didn't send him
to
down.
get reps.
To get reps. Okay.
I was in the state, so. But I still didn't do it.
I knew you were on the payroll. You never hold this team accountable.
I just realized that I was in the state, so.
I'm going to say outfield right now.
Outfield, I'm going to still go with starting pitching. Because the outfield won't matter if your starting pitching stinks.
Well, yeah, it will, because they're going to be hitting balls in the outfield, and you're going to see outfilders colliding with one another.
Hey, you can't catch home runs.
They'll collide into the wall. Back.
Now, did you talk about Steven Matt's statistics yet there, Marshy?
Oh, I know I didn't. Here, let me bring him up real quick.
What do we have? He's been...
You'll love this.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this is from earlier today. Obviously, the Cardinals are tied right now, and it's just spring training, so some people will say it doesn't matter. However, Steven Matz, 4 1/3 today against the Cubs. Gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 3, and gave up 2 home runs.
Sweet.
That's not good.
Anthony, why are you being so snarky?
Sorry.
That's not good,
That you
right?
feel that way. No, it's not good at all. No. Nope. Carey, it's not good. All right.
I don't know, man.
To the text line.
Yes, from the 618, what's more concerning? That the Cardinals may have to use Burleson and or Ciani in the outfield temporarily, or that they fully intend to use Jordan Walker in the outfield permanently?
Say that again, the first part.
So Burleson and Ciani in the outfield temporarily.
Yeah, that's way more concerning.
Or Walker permanently.
That's way more concerning. The first one is way more concerning. Not even close. I don't love Jordan Walker in the outfield. At least the dude is an athlete He's young. I feel like he eventually can be a stable outfielder. The other two, that is way more concerning to me.
Are we concerned at all?
Yes.
I'm very concerned.
It's spring training. I know that continues to be, but it's spring training.
Yeah.
Other teams other players on other teams perform better and are doing well.
Yeah.
Do we have a concern?
Well, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I'm looking at the ERA of 3 of our 5 starters. One of them hadn't played, so I guess you can't 3 or 4.
Yeah, they all add
Kyle
up
Gibson
to our age.
Yeah, about 35. Kyle Gibson is 10.8. Steven Matz is 8.16.
You're talking about his contract, right?
No, I'm talking about his ERA.
Oh.
And Lance Lynn is performing extremely well. He's 7.9.
Oh. See what you did there, Carey.
No, seriously, though, people say, this spring training doesn't matter. Do they just, flip a switch? And you're like, I'm good.
It's
Hey,
regular
guys,
now.
I'm not bad anymore.
Well, I don't know how baseball does it. Football, we don't get paid until week 1. So, I don't know. Maybe the payments start rolling in and you start feeling a little bit better. I don't know.
It's concerning.
Okay.
It's concerning that one of your guys is hurt.
Which one is more concerning? Those statistics that I just gave you, or Paul Goldschmidt batting like 1?
The pitching, way more.
Okay.
Not even close.
Marshy, that concerns me.
Not even close. It's the pitching.
I would like
He's
Paul
concerned.
Goldschmidt to do well. You're going to need that guy.
Especially if you got this pitching showing up every 5th day.
It won't matter.
It damn sure won't.
You just said Lance Lynn has been spectacular at 7.7 ERA.
Well, he's the best. Miles Michaelis is actually 2.14. That's outstanding.
Okay, so Miles has had a good spring. But Sonny Gray's injured. And then the rest of the guys, outside of Zack Thompson.
Yep, he's 2.81.
Okay. Well, your front 2 starters. You need 2 guys.
Okay.
We've been
And they went out
saying
and
it for a
got
while.
3, actually,
So we
Anthony.
got 2 frontline starters, Miles Michaelis and Zack Thompson, at least according to the spring training stats.
All right.
And they say
Let's
I
go.
can't put a spin on something, a positive spin on something for your St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Are you concerned? Hell yeah.
Yes.
For the 314. What's more concerning, the Cardinals' lack of creativity or the Cardinals' inability to develop impact arms for their starting rotation?
I would say the impact arms.
Yeah.
And in fairness to the Cardinals, they have developed impact arms. They just play for other organizations right now. But they haven't done that recently. If you can't develop front-end starters, it is extremely difficult to win. That doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean there's not exceptions, excuse me. But if you can't develop top-end starters, typically you're not a consistent contender in Major League Baseball, not just the NL Central. So that would be more concerning to me. What about you, Carey?
Well, yeah, the starting pitching is a concern because of that, you had to go out and get 3 pitchers.
Correct.
That 2 of them are a little bit long in the tooth and gave up a lot of hits. Now, ate up a lot of innings, but gave up a lot of hits.
Yep.
And so that's concerning because of that, because of the inability, or I don't know if it's an unwillingness, it's just an inability for whatever reason, or you traded the guys away that you thought were going to be really good in the rotation. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a huge problem.
Definitely.
And now we watch.
And here we go.
Final one here. Let's just get off the Cardinals for a second because I feel like we're being way too slow. For the 636, let's get into some NFL and college football here. What is more concerning, the NFL banning the hip drop tackle or the transfer portal in college football becoming the Wild West with players being able to go anywhere they want?
I don't think either one of them is concerning to me.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about either. I do wonder, though, Carey, and you can shed more light on this, but that hip tackle, I get it. It's a terrible tackle. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're, it's almost human nature, though. I don't know how many times guys are walking through how to bring down a ball carrier if you don't wrap. If a guy's got to step on you, right? He catches the ball, now he's got to step on you. And you're not going through him at that point. You're trying to grab and throw him down.
Well, there are other ways. We teach, when I was coaching, we taught our kids to gator roll, so you tackle them and you kind of roll with them. That's one way. That's not going to be a hip tackle, a hip drop tackle. The hip drop tackle is essentially this person cannot get you down, maybe because you're bigger, maybe because you're stronger, or they just have an inability, and they drop their entire body weight. And generally what happens,
your ankle is
underneath. Your body is bending in a way that is not supposed to bend because they just rapidly drop their entire weight. And you get caught up under there, and that's when you have the knees and the ankle injuries. And so I mean, there are a lot of things that the NFL does that I think have softened the game, and I'm not a fan of. Yeah. But I'm okay with this because I liken it to a horse collar tackle.
I'm not concerned about it either. I'm good with it. I'd rather see guys like Mark Andrews play the entire season. He was one of the players, just one of the many players that got hurt. Tony Pollard got hurt in the
broke his leg.
Same way.
Yep.
I would rather see those players play, so they're trying to make sure that their guys stay as healthy as possible in a brutal sport. So I'm not necessarily concerned about it, but how you regulate it out of the sport when it's just kind of a natural way to tackle somebody sometimes.
But it's not natural. It's very unnatural.
Carey, if you got to step on me, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that exact tackle.
It's unnatural because it's almost it's just a way because I'm physically stronger than like Mark Andrews, or even with the Tony Pollard. He wasn't bigger than the guy, but it's an unnatural way to contort your body to just drop your entire weight, and you leave a player in a vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's natural. I think it's something that you have to consciously think about doing and then turn your brain on to actually do it.
We'll find out, man. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. We'll see.
Last one here. Shohei Ohtani is supposed to address the media here in less than a minute, actually. So we'll keep everybody updated on what he has to say. But from the 618, not a what's more concerning, but who's more concerned about this Shohei Ohtani situation? The Los Angeles Dodgers or Major League Baseball?
Major League Baseball. Yeah, it's a great question. It is. I love the way it's phrased. I love the way it's positioned. But Major League Baseball, he is one of the most marketable players, and he's been buried, yes, in the same market that he's going to stay in, but with the team that is not in the postseason. It's your most marketable star, and you do not want your most marketable star associated with this.
With gambling.
And by the way, Shohei Ohtani addresses media about allegations against his interpreter. They're doing the breaking news right now. We cannot hear what they're saying on ESPN. Of course, I started reading it thinking I'd read more on it. So maybe they're actually doing the press conference live right now. So we'll stay on top of this and see if there's anything more to come on it. But I still think it's Major League Baseball. How about you?
I agree. I mean, this is a man that he was the key offseason acquisition. Everyone wanted to know where he was going to end up going and who he was going to be able to play for and how much money he was going to make.
Yep.
And so right now, you're kind of in limbo. You don't know. We don't know what actually took place. All we know is what one side is saying. But the further along you go into this, the more details come out, and so. Hopefully he didn't do anything wrong, but it will be, and it could be, a huge black eye for baseball, a sport that already doesn't have enough positive or fun attention. You know what I mean? Like, people are not tuned into baseball. People say all press is good press. This is not good press.
No,
this is not the press that Major League Baseball.
Rare exception.
You go.
Yep.
That's not what they were looking for. So
no.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out soon enough.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Our top takeaways from the NCAA tournament thus far, including the team that I think is going to win it all, and Carey, who we all think he's going to say Illinois.
No question.
But if he doesn't take Illinois, who's the team he's got based on what he saw in the first two rounds? It's next on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, say goodbye to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tourney, whether you're betting on the big upset or a number one seed. It's time to go dancing on America's number one sports book right now. New customers get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. You all know that I am thinking about the Illini. I bleed orange and blue, and they have Iowa State. I am looking forward to the Sweet 16 round and watching my Illini do their thing.
So, if you're Carey, you're good. You still got your bracket going, but you could still play at FanDuel. If you're somebody that has your Wildcats, i.e. the Kentucky Wildcats, being bounced, or maybe you're an Auburn Tigers fan, and you're bounced and you ripped up your bracket, FanDuel is the spot for you. $200 to use on point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win it all with their NCAA futures section at FanDuel. But you do have to visit FanDuel and use our promo code FAST. So FanDuel.com/fast and bet on college hoops until they cut down the nets. Must be 21 or older and present in Illinois. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Thursday starts the Sweet 16 in college basketball, the NCAA Tournament. I don't know if you felt, Carey, but I've enjoyed the tournament thus far. I haven't seen every single game because we were driving to Florida and back, but I've listened to the games, and I love how Westwood 1 bounces around. So in between, like, country and religious channels throughout the certain portions of the southern United States. I was happy to catch some of the Westwood 1, and they bounce around the games. These games have typically been exciting. There's been blowouts, but even the blowouts have been interesting. Take Purdue, for example. Purdue, as I've called them.
They scored 106 points.
And they did so against a Utah State team that looked very good against TCU in round one. I think that this tournament action has been very good, and I love the teams that are remaining.
I'm okay with it. Well, I know people are frustrated because there aren't many Cinderellas, but again, the Cinderellas, the slipper. They find the slipper, or the slipper slips off at some point. It's over. They will run out of all of their magic at some point, usually around the Sweet 16, when you no longer see those, because that's when the Blue Bloods, it's the teams that are better. That's why they are going to win majority of those games, and why they're going to be the ones in the Final Fours and making championship runs. So I'm okay with it. I saw Michigan State. Because anytime you watch Michigan State, they're more than likely, no matter what seed they are, they're going to find a way to win.
Cause problems.
They're going to find a way. And they were causing some problems early in that game against North Carolina. North Carolina's the better team. They were eventually able to win it. That was a good game. Obviously, the Illinois games that I've been able to watch have been really good games. That first game against Morehead State was a close one early on, and then Illinois started to pull away. This is, for me, this is what you watch March Madness for, just because it's a bunch of teams. More times than not, a lot of the casual fans don't know all of the players or many of the players. You're watching the teams, and you want to see one Cinderella, but you want to hear teams that you know. The Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Michigan States before they got ousted, Arizona, like teams with championship pedigree. You want to see those teams play and have success.
The team that I think is going to win it all, that you didn't mention, is UConn. I think they run it back.
I can't say that because we're in the same bracket. We're in the same Illinois.
You mean
we're
Illinois?
In the same. We're both in the East.
So
I'm not going to say that.
In our 101 ESPN Bracket Madness, which is completely free at 101ESPN.com. You can play for prizes. Not us. We can't play for anything. But I filled out the bracket. I got UConn winning it all. I got UConn, Arizona, Duke, and Creighton. Creighton had some issues at times in their first two games, but I got UConn beating Duke. Duke, I think, was maybe not overlooked, because Duke is never overlooked, but the way that they got bounced in the ACC tournament by NC State, now we know why NC State has looked as good as they have been. I think Duke kind of came into this where everybody thought they were vulnerable. And then when James Madison, everybody's favorite 12 seed, got past Wisconsin, lined up against Duke, everybody's like, hey, this is where Duke falls. And Duke took them behind the woodshed from the start. Duke, to me, I've got no reason to think that Duke isn't going to make a long run. But I still got UConn, the most balanced, most experienced, the best team in the nation, in my opinion, winning it all. How about you guys?
You think UConn's boring?
No, I don't.
I think UConn is going to have their hands full against San Diego State.
San Diego State sucks.
Okay. Great analysis.
Next.
Creighton, you talk
about boring. San Diego State's boring.
Oh, I hope they lose.
They grind the tempo. They play like Duke, but they're not Duke. Like, they grind the tempo way down. They wait for their shot. Like, UConn's going to take them behind the woodshed again.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's wishful thinking. Give us an easier path.
San Diego State has had an easy path.
I'm talking about Illinois, sir.
Oh.
All roads lead back to the orange and blue. Just
UAB had every opportunity to beat San Diego State in that first round game, and then Yale somehow beat Auburn, because I still don't know what the hell happened to Auburn there. Yale was not a very good 13 seed. Like, it's not that typical Yale team that, it's like, oh, they could be interesting. They get hot from outside. I don't think San Diego State's that great.
Honestly, the only Cinderella that really intrigued me was Oakland. But they weren't even playing a top team. They were playing NC State.
Do you guys know where Oakland's from?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, they're Detroit. I was so my uncle and I were going through this. We're playing the game of like where is the team from? There's a lot where I'm like, I have no idea. I did know that one because of Detroit.
Yeah.
Like what were some of the teams? Hopefully
Marquette?
Grand Canyon University wasn't one of them.
No, Marquette's from Wisconsin. I knew that one.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, yeah. They're great. They're from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
What about James
one
Madison?
in Chesterfield? Oh, no, that's the high school.
That's a
High
different
school,
one.
yeah.
What about James Madison?
JMU.
Virginia?
I think so.
I think so, too.
This is a fun game to play.
St. Mary's.
That's in California.
That's in California.
Okay.
This is a fun game.
Hold on, let me get some of these other ones here. Some of the more intriguing ones.
What about Grambling State?
That's Louisiana.
Grambling State is Louisiana.
Samford.
Samford
Kentucky.
is Connecticut.
Connecticut. Man, speaking of that, I know you weren't here. We talked about this. Ball does not lie. Kansas did not deserve to win that first game, and they got bounced in the second round. That is an absolute example of why ball does not lie.
I'm with you.
I'm trying to look up. You're absolutely right, Marsh. But I'm trying to look up some of these other teams here.
Wagner.
No idea. Wagner's in one of the Carolinas, I think.
Do you know where Drake is?
Drake.
Ducking.
Ohio?
I mean, I have no idea. I'm asking you. I have no idea.
We should play this game sometimes.
This is like the mascot game.
It is. I'd be better with the mascots. Drake.
Oh, I would.
Okay, what about Stetson?
That's
Old
in Florida.
Stetson Bennett.
That's in
Is he in
Florida.
Florida?
Yeah.
Well, you were just there.
Corey
Yeah,
Kluber went to Stetson.
Of course he did.
That's the only reason I knew that. Drake is in Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, you're way off.
What was the other one that you guys asked before? Wagner?
Wagner.
Wagner University.
I know.
Oh, it's in
look it
Staten
up.
Island.
Is it?
Yeah. Staten
Did
Island.
you know where Duquesne was?
No.
It's in Pittsburgh.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
All right, last one here, Longwood.
That's
The
not
Longwood Lancers. They're in New York, too, aren't they? There's a lot of schools from New York.
Got some good basketball.
They do.
Up there.
No football teams, but.
Anthony, real quick, this team was terrible. They didn't even make it to the 64.
Hey, Virginia.
Yeah, exactly.
Longwood.
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia's
They were
terrible.
terrible.
Holy smokes. The ACC's been okay. It's been pretty good. Not for them, though. The first four, they're like, hey, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get out of this thing right now.
I would have rather watched Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for Indiana State.
I would have rather watched one of the NIT games that night.
They're saying that Samford is in Alabama.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my
That's
bad.
what the text line is saying.
Ooh, sorry, guys.
618 says, you guys are terrible at
Homewood,
this
Alabama.
game.
We know. We're admitting it. You can't pile on after we admit it. Jeez.
Oh.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. The Could Be Contenders. Who are the Could Be Contenders in Major League Baseball? And are the Cardinals one of them? That's next on 101 ESPN. Well, the rain is here because the spring is here. Is your roof leaky? Is it old? Is it damaged? It's just flat out ugly. You want to get it replaced? Well, then give my friends at the Happy Roof Company a call because with spring here, rain is already here, like I said before, and the Happy Roof Company will serve service whether you got a leaky roof or a damaged roof or if you need a completely new one. If you call today, the Happy Roof Company will have someone to look at your issue within 24 hours. That's because they're local. They don't chase storms. They're not the company that's knocking on the door and saying, hey, you got hail damage, go with us, and they're actually from out of town. No, the Happy Roof Company, they're located right there in Sunset Hills. They will have somebody to come out and look at your issue within 24 hours. So give them a call, 314-665-3001. They've got financing options. They've got great relationships with realtors. They got expert field supervisors, up-to-date product knowledge, cost-effective solutions on both flat roofing and metal roofing, and they do residential and commercial roofing. They're the Happy Roof Company. Visit them, thehappyroof.com, or again, give them a call. Tell them Stalter sent you, 314-665-3001. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler, with Carey Davis, Super Bowl champion, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Could Be Contenders, ESPN.com, ranked every team's playoff odds. We'll go through a couple of these first here. Tier 1, the Super 2, the Atlanta Braves, the LA Dodgers. Those are the top two teams in Major League Baseball, according to ESPN.com. No pushback from me. The Braves are absolutely loaded, and the Dodgers, well, they did everything possible to make sure nobody else could get any other top free agent in the offseason. Any issues with those two teams? No. Marshy?
No issues. No issues at all.
Tier 2, the biggest threats. Number 3, the Houston Astros. Number 4, the Baltimore Orioles at number 4. Yes. Number 5, the Philadelphia Phillies. The defending World Series champion Texas Rangers at 6. The New York Yankees at 7, although, I don't know. I know they got Soto. I know they got Judge. Judge will get hurt probably. Stanton is probably already hurt. They don't have the pitching. I don't think the Yankees are going to make it this year, but they got them at 7. The Tampa Bay Rays are 8. I see nothing about adding Richie Palacios, but ESPN.com, they'll find out soon. Mm-hmm. Number 9, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who, of course, made the deep run last year to the World Series. That rounds out the first 9 teams. The Could Be Contenders. 10, the Seattle Mariners. 11, the Toronto Blue Jays. 12, the Minnesota Twins. 13, the San Diego Padres. 14, the Chicago Cubs. So obviously ESPN likes the Cubs. There's the top team in the National League Central. 15, the San Francisco Giants. 16, Cincinnati Reds. 17, yes, your St. Louis Cardinals. 17, Could Be Contenders. Find it interesting that the Cubs and Reds are listed ahead of the Cardinals, Carey?
Well, you believe that the Cardinals are the best team in the division.
I think they should win just because I'm mad at them.
Well,
and I want to put maybe some unrealistic expectations on them.
I think people around, excuse me, I think people outside of St. Louis look at the additions of Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn and may be a little bit underwhelmed by the additions. Sonny Gray, I think, was a good pickup, but when we're talking about, and because that's something we've been talking about today, the earned run average so far this spring, and I know it's spring training, and everyone will say, oh, it's spring training, doesn't matter, but also look at what happened last year. A lot of hits were given up. Lance Lynn led the league in home runs allowed. Those are concerning issues for me. Mm-hmm. And when you're talking about a team that could be a contender, the contenders have pitching. That's the one thing the Cardinals organization told us that they were going to go out and get. They went and got pitching. Did they get elite pitching? Maybe not.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
I thought it was a rhetorical question. I'll just answer. No, it's not. They did not do that, Carey.
Did they get average pitching?
Yes.
Okay. So, with that being said,
outside of Sonny Gray.
Well, let's exclude him.
Okay.
But
yes.
Just for this purpose, because A, he's injured, and B, we understand that he is one of the better pitchers. The staff, to me, doesn't feel like a staff that's good enough unless they play out of their mind, which anything could happen, right? That's possible. But unless they play out of their mind, I don't know that this team is in a position. I think we're going to be a tick better than last year, meaning 91 wins is absurd and you can't do that again. But we're talking 81 and 81, 83 and whatever that is, 79. Like, that to me is what the record is hovering around, 3 to 5 games above 500, which would be really good compared to last year. But I don't think that that's going to be enough, A, to win the division, or B, to make a playoff push. And that's just where I feel this Cardinals team is right now.
So the projected record, according to ESPN.com, for the Cardinals, 85 and 77.
See, he was the child today.
He was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, that was you.
What are you talking about?
Marsh, you can't make any slip up there without Marsh just.
Yeah. I'm laughing at something on Twitter.
No, you're not. You don't even have Twitter up.
Yeah, I do. Shohei Ohtani says he never bet on sports.
There you go.
I'm laughing.
You're not laughing at that.
I was laughing at something else.
The projected record for the Cardinals, 85 and 77. What has changed most since we last saw them? The Cardinals did not waste time addressing their pressing need over the offseason, starting pitching. They quickly signed veterans Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn to one-year deals in November before giving Sonny Gray a 3-year, $75 million deal a week later. They ended the offseason by signing Brandon Crawford, another 30-something-year-old, to be a backup infielder. The Cardinals filled their biggest need. Time will tell if they got better. Important distinction, though. Because they did, because sometimes we get these text messages like, well, didn't they need pitching? Yeah, they did. They addressed the need.
Yeah.
There's no pushback from us in that regard. Did they get better? Did they fully improve? They did with Sonny Gray. I don't think it's wrong at all to say time will tell if they got better in the other areas.
Well, here's another question. When this is written, I don't know what the date is, but the injuries also are piling up for this team, and that's a problem as well. We were talking about earlier, are you more concerned with the starting pitching or the outfielding?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the pitching, I think.
But if you don't have an outfielder, if Alec Burleson has to be an opening day starter in the outfield, is that not concerning?
Yes.
And again, who's playing center field?
It should be Victor Scott, but we'll find out.
He's not. Remember, they sent him down.
Bring him up.
Why would they do that?
Because they say they want to win.
They're going to bring him up for 5 games and send him right back down?
No, if it's that, then no, I don't blame him. But I would give him an extended run with Tommy Edman out.
Well,
if Tommy Edman's out and Dylan Carlson's out for a while, then come on.
But if that was the plan, why did you send him down in the first place?
Because Dylan Carlson was supposed to be healthy.
And so was Tyler O'Neill.
Oh, stop it, Carey.
I'm just saying.
But fair point.
Okay. It just feels like
if Tommy Edman is out for a while,
we don't know how long he's out.
And if Dylan Carlson's out for a while, and we don't know if that's the case, too. By the way, they collided. Him and Jordan Walker collided today, and apparently Dylan Carlson hurt his wrist/shoulder, so he's likely done for his life. Victor Scott.
Collision.
Victor Scott. Come on. What are we doing here?
If Dylan Carlson is out for an extended period of time, then I think you should bring him up. Bring him back up. I don't think he should have gotten sent down. But
I agree.
Here we are. I'm sure when the Cardinals made that decision a couple of days ago, they did not think that Dylan Carlson and Jordan Walker would run into each other, and obviously Dylan Carlson would get the worst of that.
Right.
But that's where we are right now. And so...
Right, so the variable has changed. Therefore...
Has this team given you the impression that when variables change, they shift their narrative?
Oh, God, no. No, they lean harder into... Who can we sign that's 35 that can play center field for a couple of weeks?
A clubhouse guy.
I actually
a former Cardinal, preferably.
Harrison Bader. No, John Jay is coaching.
He is a Bader's in the division. He's a Red, right?
John Jay is coaching now, so you can't.
Yeah, they'll sign him though.
Okay.
I think Bader's with the Mets now.
Oh, that's right.
He was with the Reds.
Yes, that's right. The Reds picked him up last year when the Yankees put him on waivers or traded him or whatever.
I hate that there are so many injuries because when this team inevitably does bad, the excuse is, well, we had some injuries beginning of the year. Injuries. How are we supposed to know? Like, blah, blah,
right.
Blah. And then run it back next year.
Well, here's the thing: if Victor Scott is in center field, I think that play is made, and I don't think those two run into each other.
Amen, brother.
I mean, maybe.
Bring him up.
Did he call the ball off?
He'd have been there faster, and Jordan Walker would have been able to see him.
It would have been the flash out there.
There you go.
Jordan Walker be like, who the hell caught that?
Is that the guy in Atlanta?
I didn't see him.
What's that guy's name?
Oh, the Flash.
No, not the Flash.
Oh, the
one
Freeze.
that runs,
Mr.
the
Freeze.
No, not
Remember
Mr. Freeze. It's something. It's something. With,
something Freeze.
It's
Yeah.
Freeze. The guy that runs around the Warner track.
Yeah.
And beats everybody.
Frozone.
Is that? No.
Those are all not the names of this guy.
Braves, Mr. Freeze. Yeah. It's Freeze.
That's what I
Just
thought.
Freeze.
The Freeze.
The Freeze.
The Freeze. Yep.
Okay.
The David Freeze. That's his
He
name.
definitely ran track at some point in his life.
Oh, I'm sure.
He might be I don't know. He can roll.
Yes, he can.
The Cardinals are going to have like the Milwaukee Brewers sausages out there in center, in the outfield running around.
I don't like your negativity on the Cardinals. They're going to be just fine. We got our Sports Six-Pack coming up, 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. So go ahead and send in the Sports Six-Pack questions next on 101 ESPN. When it comes to borrowing money for the biggest investment that you're going to make, which is your home or your next home, you want to make sure you go with the experts. Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation is Jamie's guy. He's my guy. He needs to be your guy. That's because Stewie stays on top of everything in the market, everything that's going on with the Federal Reserve. He knows which way the rates are leaning one way or the other based on the information that he gets from the Federal Reserve. So if you're not on top of that stuff, and look, I'm not, I fully admit that, then Stewie's going to be your guy. And he hands out his personal cell phone number because he wants you to get that old school customer service. He doesn't want you hanging on online, talking to some automated system until you finally reach a human being that can't help you anyways and that puts you back on hold. Not with Stewie. So you can call or text him at 314-324-4440. Ask him about the bagel loan, because if you're borrowing $200,000 or more, you qualify for the bagel loan, which means no closing cost, no lender fees. I don't know anybody else that does that. So give him a call, shoot him a text, tell him that Jamie and Anthony told you to call. You want to make sure that you're going with the right lender, especially when it comes to your home. So call Stewie at 314-324-4440 or Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions via the Sports Six-Pack or for the Sports Six-Pack via the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 314, do you think language barrier could come into play in the Ohtani situation? Like one or the other wasn't aware of what's expected as far as betting goes, Ohtani or his interpreter?
I think it could be a possibility, but no. I think anything is going to be a stretch when it comes to Shohei Ohtani not knowing what was going on. So if I'm Shohei, as long as I didn't bet on baseball, I'm telling the truth. Here's exactly what happened. Here's what I knew. Here's what I didn't know. And tell the truth.
What if you did bet on baseball but didn't know?
That I didn't know I bet on baseball?
No, that you didn't know you couldn't bet on baseball.
I'm not saying a damn word. It's a 1-year ban or a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
If I bet on the Angels or bet on a game that I was involved in, it's a lifetime ban. It's Pete Rose style.
I don't know if the language barrier... The reason why I say that is because as a player, now granted there was no language barrier for me, but we were responsible for any supplements we took. Mm-hmm. If I took something and it was on the list, I didn't know.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You should
have known. Yeah.
And so there are certain things there are certain things that are expected of you that you can or cannot do. And so I think that I don't know how that would work if he were found to have gambled or partook in some of that in some form or fashion. Mm-hmm. The language barrier was. I don't think that's a good enough excuse, and I don't think that would be a reason as to why he wouldn't be fined, suspended, banned, whatever the case may be.
This guy's been his interpreter for like 2 decades, 3 decades. So no, it's not going to fly.
So then you know that. To a degree, he knew.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long process to see how this all plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 2.
From the 636, do you guys consider WrestleMania as one of the biggest sporting events of the year? It has the same attendance as the Super Bowl, if not more, every year.
I don't watch wrestling.
You got to watch it. You got to watch it in person, though. Because
I'm sure it's great.
It's like...
I'm sure it's great.
Listen.
I'm sure it's great.
It is... I took my son last, I guess, November, and it's just like crazy. Like the energy... I've never been to a WrestleMania event. I used to watch like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania when I was younger, but I would love to actually attend one of those. Like I need to sit closer because I'm sure it costs as much as it does a Super Bowl ticket. But it is. I think so especially for wrestling fans, hardcore wrestling fans. Man, those people are nuts in a good way.
It's a event that a lot of people attend. It's always sold out to the point there about the Super Bowl. And I don't watch it, but that doesn't mean I don't know the magnitude of people getting into it. So I would say yes, even though I don't attend.
I took a deep dive into one of the WrestleManias just a few days ago, actually. It was when John Cena went up against The Rock.
Okay.
In WrestleMania. I can't remember which one it was, but I took a deep dive into that and started watching videos and whatnot. It's pretty exciting.
It is.
I used to play the WWE video games back in the day, and you mentioned the Royal Rumble. Nothing is cooler than the Royal Rumble. Especially when guys they get in the ring and then all of a sudden they get tossed within like 2 seconds.
The hell out of here. What are you doing?
You're done.
You're done.
How do you think our guy would fare, Marsh?
Which one?
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, the Winter Soldier?
No.
Oh. How many guys do we have?
2.
Who's the other guy?
Well, hold on now. Let's play this game real quick. Our other guy. He's a wrestler?
No.
He's
Jack Reacher.
There you go.
Oh God. He'd be the first guy in and the last guy out. Are you kidding me?
I saw the one scene where he's behind the woman at the ATM, and he looks over, and he sees the van, and he sees that she's nervous and stuff. And He just goes, "Don't turn around." Is that fan hijacked you?
Yeah.
Carjacked you? She says, "Yes." My baby's in the back. He goes, "Okay, I'll be right back."
Beats the crap out of him.
Takes him right
I
out
might
of the
need
window.
to watch the Reacher. The Jack
you have to.
Reacher.
Yes,
I need to
Carey.
watch.
Carey, you love him.
I gotta
He
watch.
punches the window and rips the guy out.
Yeah, I don't think that works in real life.
Oh,
Does for Jack Reacher.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Have you seen that guy?
Carey.
Trust me.
No, trust us that as soon as you're done watching both seasons, you're going to say, Reacher could do it.
All right.
Hey, by the way, what if he
That's how I felt about Jack Bauer, too.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Jack Bauer could do everything.
Oh, 2024?
Oh, Jack Bauer was the man.
If he had to play a position in any sport, what would it be, and why would he be a linebacker?
I was going to say, he sounds like a linebacker.
With a neck roll.
I haven't seen him.
God, yes.
He's got to have a neck roll.
Has to.
He played, what's his
Fantastic.
face? Yeah, in
Blue Mountain State.
Yep.
So, yeah, I guess there's our answer right there.
He'd absolutely be a
Linebacker.
linebacker. Yep.
Question number 3.
I don't know how fast he is, but, I mean, you couldn't run up the middle. That's for sure.
Oh, no. From the 618, what is the most important ability in professional sports?
Availability.
Ask Dylan Carlson or Tyler O'Neill.
I would say, other than that, mental toughness.
Yeah, good call.
Because some of that availability comes because you're mentally tough and willing and able to play through things that hurt.
Yeah.
Like like Jamie was talking about, there are injuries that you deal with. And I'm like, why am I doing? How am I doing this? I don't know. I'm gonna get up and keep doing it though. I was telling him I got a stinger. We were playing the Cincinnati Bengals, and my whole right side went numb.
Ugh.
And in the huddle, I'm like this. Yep. Hope I don't have to block with this right shoulder.
Oh man.
I don't feel anything.
Did you
Actually,
have to?
It might be okay because I don't feel anything.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Call something to the right.
Yeah.
So what happened?
We called something else. I was probably supposed to block with my right shoulder, but I just hit him with the left.
And then did you come out?
No, it came back.
So you want to be a professional athlete. Your whole half of you goes numb right in the middle of a play. So you use the other half of you until that sensation comes back. So you want to be a professional athlete.
Came back.
Yeah. And we'll come back with more of your Sports Six-Pack questions next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If some of these symptoms fit you, I got a solution for you. If you've experienced, I don't know, maybe you're tired constantly, the amount of time that you're spending in the gym's not working out because you don't have the energy, you're not mentally focused, you don't have that drive, you don't have that intensity. Maybe you're dealing with something a little more serious, depression or mood swings, you're constantly angry or irritable. Mentality is where it's at. Mentality did a great job with Jamie and I after we went in there, and that's what you have to do. If you're experiencing this, you're a man. You might be dealing with low testosterone. Jamie and I were. You get older, you get in your 40s. Like Jamie's in his mid 40s. I'm in my early 40s, and you deal with that. Plus, you still got other responsibilities with work, kids, personal life. You want to be on the top of your game. When it comes to what the effects were for Jamie and I since we've been on Mentality's program. We're talking about that, exact opposite of what I was talking about before. High energy, clear thinking. That was something I didn't think of, ironically, right? Clear thinking. I felt motivated, felt ready to go. I get in the gym consistently. I want to be there. I put in the work. I go home. I still have the energy to play with the kids, do dinner, and all that other stuff. So if you want to be on top of your game, you might be dealing with low testosterone. Get tested thanks to Mentality. Get on their program. Start feeling great again. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in. Or visit them at lowtusa.com. Again, it's Mentality.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Earlier today, Jordan Walker ran into Dylan Carlson. Carlson came up a little banged up, his shoulder/wrist. He was taken out of the game. We talked a little bit about that earlier in the show. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. The Blues take on the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, one of the bigger games of the year, as the Blues are only a few points back of the Golden Knights for that final wild card spot. Pre-game starts at 6 o'clock. Puck drop is at 7, and you can catch all the action right here on 101 ESPN. We have part 2 of our Sports Six-Pack, so if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack. Your questions via the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 with Super Bowl champ Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, and here is Andrew Marsh.
Question number 4.
From the 314, do sports radio hosts have agents?
Some do, yes. I don't have one.
I don't either.
I don't make him enough money to have any sort of negotiation to an agent and have him
taking some of your money away.
Yeah, but some do. Yeah, some in bigger markets have agents because they want to make sure that they negotiate the best rate for themselves. And like I'm sure the big time national guys. I'm sure Colin Cowherd and
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith definitely does.
That's TV, radio and TV.
Radio and TV.
Yeah.
The TV. A lot of the TV guys definitely do. Yeah, but I don't. Do you still have your agent?
I still talk to my agent. I don't pay him anything. He doesn't do anything. I don't have an NFL contract to pay him.
Not yet.
Yeah. I mean, I have been hearing how youthful I look.
Absolutely.
Without the beard. Like, Carey can go play football. No, he can't. I just look like a young man.
You do.
I'm not.
The snake pit can see it.
Yeah.
Our Air Alliance team. I always call it the Snake Pit. I forget what it's actually supposed to be. The Air Alliance team YouTube channel. They can see a very young looking Carey Davis.
I look like a 12-year-old.
No, you don't.
It felt like it. That's a good thing though. You can't see the
If you look like
grays.
a 12-year-old, you look like the kids I was playing against in Cooperstown when I was, 10, 11, 12 years old in those tournaments. Those guys had mustaches. They were hitting bombs.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I played a JFL Youth Football League game in Florida, and we were 13, and a couple of guys on the other team drove to the game.
Now, Carey, what states allow you to drive at 13?
None that I know.
Okay.
I think you can in Kansas. I could be wrong.
They got out of the car and was like, did they just drive?
That doesn't make sense.
Hell no.
Something's wrong.
Question number 5.
All right, Anthony, you're the hockey guy.
My dad knows that guy.
From the 573, getting into hockey fairly recently. I'm curious to understand the strategy behind building lines each game. Is it a matter of skill, chemistry, size matchups? Would love some insight to how these are put together.
Marsh, why don't you go ahead and tell the listener what Carey and I have taught you.
Let's see. The advice you gave me today was eat some food.
Yeah, that was show related, not hockey related.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it just depends. I think it depends on the matchup of the other team. Chemistry is probably the biggest component of that. I think when you see in-game line adjustments, you're probably basing those off of who's playing well. You know, we saw that a few games ago when Jordan Kyrou was moved off that first line, and Jake Neighbors went to the first line, and now you see that is the Blues' current version of their first line, and they're getting success. So when you see different things happen throughout a game, that's when you'll tweak things, whether that's in-game or at practice. I think it really just depends, but I would probably bet on the majority of, like, if a percentage-wise, like 90% probably has to do with chemistry.
Marsh, that is, you took meticulous notes, and that is almost verbatim as to what we told you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you guys were telling me.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of you. I had it in my notes right here. I was listening. You were
nice work. Yep.
Good job.
So we got a text from the 636. Nice of Jackson to be texting in.
I was listening to Balloon Party today. I almost fell out of my chair when Tim McKernan goes to Jackson. They're talking about tonight's game, the Golden Knights and the Blues. Of course, there's so much on the line for the Blues tonight. And Tim goes, "Now, Jackson, will you be watching? Will you be watching tonight's game?" Jackson goes, "Yeah, I might tune in." I might tune in. Sure.
Maybe. Maybe not.
We'll see what else is on, he said.
Golden State playing tonight?
No, unfortunately not.
Are the Clippers playing tonight?
Yeah, you don't worry about it there, buddy.
I think they are, aren't they?
They are.
That's probably a later start, though. He has time to...
Playing the Pacers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What else
Pacers.
is on tonight?
Right.
Literally anything else for Jackson.
Now, Jackson's in college, women's college basketball.
Yeah.
The tournament, the
That's
NCAA
fair.
tournament's going on for the women's. The
Iowa
women.
Hawkeyes are playing West Virginia tonight
a big
at 7 o'clock.
Yep. What'd you think? What'd you think
USC has got a good. Juju Watkins is a really good player too.
What'd you think of LSU's coach going off on the Washington Post?
I think if she'd have just left it alone, nobody would have been paying attention. But I guess she's trying to get ahead of the story.
Kim Mulkey,
Yeah, as they say. But it probably brings more attention to a situation that didn't have as much attention on it yet.
This is not a blog. Now, I know that every newspaper's had their gaffes, but the Washington Post.
She said they've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's not a gaffe. They have some detailed information.
What was that about?
We're gonna find out.
How she?
So we don't even know yet.
I think it's about how she speaks to her players or handles her players. I saw some snippets about something a couple of weeks ago about a college basketball coach that an article was coming out about how they talk to their players.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man.
I always think, Carey, it's always worse. Like if we were to print some of the things that were said to you and the other players in college and pro, and we were just to print it, we might be like, oh no, how could you? But if you're in that culture and you kind of know that's just kind of how it's said, I think it's different. It's always worse in print when you don't know what
the
goes
context.
On. Yeah.
Do you think she's worse than like John Tortorella?
No.
Did you see what he did the other day?
Oh boy, what did Johnny Boy do?
So
what did Johnny T do now?
The Flyers played the Florida Panthers, and they started, I believe, their backup goaltender, the Flyers, that is, Felix Sandstrom. And the Florida Panthers had 14 shots on net, and this guy gave up 3 goals. 14 shots. And John Tortorella was asked about that, and he tapped the podium twice and got up and left. Didn't even answer the question.
Really?
Yeah, he just
didn't feel like answering that day.
Got up and left.
Okay, fair.
He is great. Like when it comes to media.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Fantastic.
All right.
Question number 6.
Wrap this thing up.
From the 636, what is your guys' favorite holiday that isn't one of the big holidays? So holidays excluding Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, New Year's, etc.
Oh, man. Memorial Day. In a 4-day weekend.
Oh. I thought you were going the meaning of the...
Oh, that too.
Yeah. Those are going the meaning of the holiday, Carey.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, though.
Yeah.
I think anyone that's going to give you some time off.
I mean, what do we... Well,
right.
Yeah, of course.
First 2 days of the NCAA tournament.
That's not actually a hot. I mean, it should be.
I've taken those days off. I just did it.
We talked about that over the week. we talked about that last week.
Yeah, Anthony, Randy was saying that's the number one time for men to have vasectomies on that Wednesday.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's a good day. It's not a holiday.
A lot of the doctors will only perform that on Fridays.
Because they know you have some time off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you need time off.
To watch basketball. Well, to heal, I mean.
To heal.
Yeah.
You want to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the game's just on.
Yeah, you gotta watch something.
What are you gonna just
and
sit
Jack
there and not
Reacher's
do
only
anything?
2 seasons. I mean, you can only rewatch it a few times.
Are you all done watching Jack Reacher?
Yeah,
so I'm done. Yeah, I'm on to my next show.
I gotta watch it.
I have not gone past like my Marvel.
Oh yeah, where are you at now?
I'm gonna start.
I stopped.
Oh, you did take a break?
I took a break. Yeah,
you're not missing anything.
Have you all watched Yellowstone?
I have not watched it.
I've heard it's fantastic.
Watch it.
Yellowstone. All
I
right.
love it.
There's a lot of shows, a lot of spin-offs with that. So I don't know. Do I need to start with like
Yellowstone? Start with
that one?
Yeah.
I've been watching
the spin-offs.
Survivor a lot lately.
Like the new one?
The new season. I love that show. I took a break from watching it.
Yeah.
Like years. And then my roommate got me back into it. That show's awesome.
I started watching it right out of college. Like when I started I was a working class fool, and I started watching shows. Like that's just what you do as an adult, you know. And I enjoyed it.
I've never gotten into the reality shows. I watched like the Real World, like the first
back in the day.
The first Real World or the first couple of them.
The best one was San Francisco.
Was that?
That was when the one guy got kicked out. There's a lot going on in that house.
What was his name?
Puck.
Yes.
Everybody remembers that one.
I don't.
You weren't born.
You might not have been born yet. I don't know.
Like if you were young, Real World.
The Real World was the show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, really anything on MTV.
Yeah.
They had all the shows.
So I've never watched The Real World. Was it somewhat similar to like Jersey Shore, where like they'd bring a group of people in and they kind of just let them just do whatever?
Yeah, I would say I'll say that's accurate. Yeah. They had jobs and stuff though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's. I didn't watch the Jersey Shore. I knew like the characters.
Yeah, Gym Tan Laundry.
Okay, there you go.
That's the slogan. If you could be on a reality TV show now, though, what would it be?
Ooh.
Would it be like a game show?
It would probably be a game show for
absolutely.
me. And win some money.
Yep.
For sure.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Is that still on?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
At one point, when I was watching Survivor, I would want.
I mean, with your performance in the Gauntlet, you should probably stay away from that show.
I won today, Marsh. What's your problem?
What's the suitcase one?
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No
There's
Deal.
actually a new show out right now called Deal or No Deal Island, which is very similar to like Survivor, but also mixed in with Deal or No Deal. And I believe they have a chance to win like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like the most amount of money that anyone could potentially win on a game show like that.
Well, that one, Marsh. I want to do that.
That one would be pretty cool.
All right, we've got Bet the Board 3 stars of the day next on 101 ESPN. If you need a car, you still got time throughout the month of March when it comes to visiting Auto Centers Nissan out in Herculaneum and taking advantage of the great deals that they have, including brand new Nissan Altimas. You could finance for only $499 down and $499 a month for 84 months. No lease on that. And that offer includes 30-day new car return promise within 30 days. If you want to bring back that Altima for any reason, maybe you want to change out the color, you wanted to upgrade or go with a different feature and a different Nissan vehicle, no problem. Within 30 days, bring the vehicle back. They will refund that vehicle for you and also set you up with something that you like. Complimentary lifetime warranty, complimentary 1-year maintenance, over 700 vehicles all in one location. That's what Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum is going to provide you. That's on top of the great customer service, the great deals, and the financing that they have for everybody that walks in the door. Bad credit, no credit, good credit, doesn't matter. They're going to finance the vehicle for you at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. Tell them that Stalter sent you and start at AutoCentersNissan.com. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or your 101 ESPN mobile app, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. With Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh, I'm Anthony Stalter. Time to bet the board here on 101 ESPN.
Anthony, why don't you go first?
All right.
By the way, I faded you last week.
How did it go?
Yeah, it worked out.
I didn't do too well last week.
Well, you had, I believe...
At Nebraska the one time. That was brutal.
I definitely faded you that day.
Nice. But I've had a good March, though, haven't I?
You have. You had.
Who did he have on Friday?
Oh, who was it?
Friday I won.
You did, yeah.
That was...
I think I did fade you on that one, so...
That was like, it was right before tip-off. Oh, who was it? Now it's going to
Creighton.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I'll tell you. Hold on. Still holding.
Still holding.
Yeah, you had Nebraska plus 1.5.
That was the bad one.
So also McNeese State plus 7.
Oh, that was bad.
That was the one I faded that.
Gonzaga.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I won one of them.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, you're back, so.
I'm back. Yeah. All right. I'm going to stay with college basketball, even though the tournament, nope, the game already tipped. Never mind. All right, let's go to the NBA. I'll take the over in the Nets-Raptors game. It's 219.5. I think both teams can combine for enough scoring there. 219.5 over in the Nets-Raptors game.
All righty.
Carey, who are you picking?
I'm going to have to go with the Los Angeles Clippers -6 versus the Indiana Pacers.
All right.
I'm going to do something tonight. I'm going to try and help the Blues.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to take the Los Angeles Kings against the Vancouver Canucks. That's a team that we really haven't talked about, but they're only, I believe, 6 points ahead of the Blues. And if they start losing as well, that could also help the Blues. So I'm going to take the Kings tonight. Maybe I'll lose.
Okay. I like your thought process on that.
Interesting thought process.
Before we get to the 3 stars, I want to let you know that we will be broadcasting live from the Budweiser Brewhouse inside Ballpark Village next Thursday for opening day. It's the home opener for the Cardinals. The home opener is almost here. We'll be set just steps away. Marcia, we ever figure out the exact distance?
We did, and I completely forgot what it was. It might have been like 42 feet or something like that.
We'll get on that again, but we'll be steps away from Busch Stadium on opening day, the home opener. Opening drive, BK Ferrario, us, the Fast Lane, all coming live next Thursday for you, April 4th from Ballpark Village. Our opening day broadcast is brought to you by Holiday World and Splash and Safari and Budweiser. All right, Marsh, what do we got for criticisms and compliments?
This might disappoint a ton of people. A lot of people might not be surprised, but got this from the 314. I lived right by the Real World House when they were in Chicago. The entire thing is scripted. They told them what to do when they filmed it, witnessed it multiple times.
Oh, that is
sad.
That sucks.
That is disappointing.
It's not as disappointing as Carey and I finding out that the American Gladiators, the original ones,
that was tough.
Basically were making nothing. And I mean
Pennies.
nothing.
They didn't get anything. They had lunch boxes, action
Toys,
figures.
Yeah. They didn't make a dime off of it.
They didn't get anything.
They didn't know, Carey. They signed a horrible deal.
Oh, my God.
Made me sad for Laser and Blazer and Taser.
I felt bad.
Hey, at least they were in the movie Dodgeball, weren't they?
Not the same.
Oh, those different
they were
people.
Different. Yeah.
Gemini.
Yeah. Who's the main leader?
Thunder?
No. What was
Nitro.
his name? Nitro. Nitro didn't make a
Nitro.
It sucks.
Darn it.
Real quick before we get to the 3 stars, we need Jamie's pick for Bet the Board.
Oh.
I wonder who he's going with.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it.
Check
It's
the
the
notes.
Kings plus 104.
Oh, the Sacramento Kings?
Nope, L.A. Kings.
Well, that's who I picked. He can't pick them.
Oh, Jamie, you got to send some. I'll text him real quick. You got to pick something else.
Give him the Vancouver Canucks.
He likes the Canucks.
Well, he does actually like the Canucks. He's picked them multiple times.
That's true. Good call on that.
So,
yeah.
All right, let's get to our 3 stars of the day. Our 3rd star goes out to Michael Cera, who made a great play in center field today. I mean, Michael Ciani did, but Michael Cera, 3rd star of the day.
3rd star of the day.
Congratulations to him.
Way to go.
Our 2nd star of the day goes out to Reacher.
Oh,
yeah, Reacher.
Yeah, don't want to mess with that guy.
Now.
I got to check him out.
Yeah, you do.
And our 1st star of the day, we'll probably hear what she has to say tonight on Bally Sports Midwest. And Jamie will be relaying those. That's Karen.
Yes.
That's right.
Karen
It had to be Karen.
Had to be.
And if you missed it, make sure that you check that out on the podcast. All right, for Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Blues, Golden Knights pregame now. See you.